It is 9:17 in the PM Central Time, I guess. June 28th, 2017. It's the Alaboom, and we're live. Yay! Who cares? Hey everybody.
5 people care.
Yes.
Great
6
intro.
people care right now. There are 6 people watching.
The people that would yell at us had we not logged in.
Yeah.
6 people watching, and I don't have clothes on.
Nice. So we have Travis, we have Peter, we have Keith, we have James, and we have the inscrutable Anthony Ricano.
It's scrutable.
Yes.
Okay.
You cannot be screwed. No, actually, in means you are scrutable.
I thought Anthony likes to be called Dr. Fudge now.
What?
The Fudge.
They call me Dr. Fudge. Remember that movie Unbreakable?
man.
That terrible character that
Mr. Glass?
yeah, when he goes, the kids, they call me Mr. Glass.
Well, that's because he was a comic book character.
I get it, dumbo. Why do you think I'm that stupid that I didn't pick up on that?
Well, no, I think it's kind of stupid that you're complaining about something.
I like how he says it. I think your face is stupid. So how about that? You look like what if the rock biter was into Molly Hatchet. What was I going to say? Oh, I like at the end whenever when he screams to. Oh, spoiler alert! If you haven't seen Unbreakable, when he goes, "Now that you know who you are, I know who I am."
Did you guys see the other M. Night movie where like yeah, Bruce Willis is at the very end as the Unbreakable guy?
Yeah, you just totally spoiler.
Well, it's a little tiny glimpse. It's nothing major. I thought
what was Bruce Willis's character's name in that movie?
Oh, it was I know what it is. Give me a second because it was an alliteration.
Yes, it is an alliteration.
I'll remember it. Just you got to give me time.
Dunn.
David Dunn. There you go. I knew it was David. I was trying to remember the last name. But yeah, it was totally it was a superhero name, and the whole thing about it was that was his last good movie. Though I will say that I did think that the Arrival thing was okay. The one about the aliens. I thought that was okay.
So the next movie he makes is supposed to be a joint sequel for both Unbreakable and his latest one.
Yeah.
Well, he said that Unbreakable was supposed to be a trilogy. That was his idea.
I think what's happened is M. Night is like, well, I was on top of the world, and no one gives a shit about me for the last decade. Have you ever read anything about what was that first movie he did? The stupid I See Dead People movie?
Sixth Sense?
Yeah, that movie made more money a year after it came out. That it was in theaters for over a year, and it was making more and more money. It's like a total anomaly. How do you go and see that movie more than? I guess you see it twice, right? Like you see it, you're an idiot that can suspend your disbelief, and then you go and you watch it again so you can marvel at how stupid you are. But I don't know. I mean, it was a good movie. It was a fine movie, but it's crazy that he was that guy. And I actually, when I was flying home from San Francisco recently, I rewatched Signs and I rewatched Sixth Sense, and I thought Signs was okay. Like Signs wasn't a bad movie. I think and I liked The Village too. I think Lady in the Lake or Lady in the Water or whatever, that's where shit went off the rails.
The Village had a great idea, I guess. I'll say that. But it was like a totally that would never happen kind of thing, you know? Like you wouldn't have a village that, planes never flew overhead, really? No, I don't think so. So it was like the other ones, I mean, not that the other ones are all that plausible or anything like that. I just, anyway, that's just my thought.
The Happening?
Well, I didn't even watch The Happening, but I heard it was horrible.
It was so bad. I love the part where the guy just lays down and then the riding mower goes over it.
So, yeah, I mean, I heard that was just the worst of all time. But, oh well, they can't all be winners. I don't know. So anyway, ostensibly this is about games and stuff. Anybody play anything recently?
I did.
Oh, care to tell us about it?
I really like that game Fantasy Realms that WizKids did.
Yep, that's a good game.
That's like a really cool. I mean, it's kind of weird that the scoring takes longer than the gameplay, but I don't know that that's bad necessarily. It's yeah, it's pretty interesting. I played that tournament at Camelot game. God damn, that game is mean, man. That is like that might be the meanest game I've ever played, and it's fun, but holy shit, it's just like it feels like you're like, all right, let's sit down and play a game, and then you're playing a game with the cast from the TV show Jackass, and someone just punches you in the balls moment one, and you're on edge the whole time because nothing but bad things are happening.
I'm of the opinion that Neu Heimat is the meanest game I've ever played in my life. And
the game that whoever finishes with positive money wins?
Yeah, because none of you will.
I won with 0.
Yeah, that's Neu Heimat for you. Yeah, Neu Heimat is one of the meanest games of all time. Locomotive Works is pretty mean too if you're into the train game thing. But yeah, Neu Heimat, which I understand, I believe Capstone is gonna they're gonna remake Neu Heimat.
Yep. Neu Heimat, The Climbers, well, something else. Maybe they didn't announce anything else.
So Neu Heimat is like one of my like games that I have that's out of print. It's worth money. So now it's not gonna be worth anything. Climbers is again it's out of print that I own that's worth money. Now it's not gonna be worth anything. And my Axis and Allies 50th anniversary, I was worth something, and now it's not gonna be worth anything. And I'm gonna probably buy the new one too because I think the new one's gonna have a bigger map. They said because that was one of the problems with the 50th anniversary Axis and Allies. The map was, even though they made it bigger, it still wasn't big enough. So I'm hoping. But yeah, there you go. That's my thought on that. Anything else going on before we? I
Total
have
Recall game coming out.
Yeah, you mentioned you weren't too excited about that though.
Oh, I got a press release. Total Recall board game. I was like, oh, let's see. And then I started reading it, and it's Good Cop, Bad Cop, the Total Recall edition.
Let down.
Good Cop, Bad Cop is not a bad game.
No, it's not. The problem with Good Cop, Bad Cop and the other reiterations of it is it was a good game. It didn't need other iterations of it. It's like companies, that keep taking the same game and just sticking new themes on it over and over and over again.
Yeah, I can see that.
Coup.
I don't work for that company anymore.
I wasn't going to dig at you, but like the coup games. I mean, coup is fun. I actually
co-op.
I actually have a copy of the G54, the original.
With the people up against the wall, the people up against the wall about to get shot by the firing squad.
Yes,
that is a great cover.
And it's fun. And I like it, and I do have the original coup that the original second coup that
yep, I have that one too.
Cards did, but like after that, it was like okay, I don't need another game that's coup.
Sure, you do. Get another one.
No.
You never have enough.
So I got 4 games that I'm looking forward to learning how to play. So Nemo's War came in the mail.
Yep, I got mine. I'm excited to play it.
And at Origins, I picked up Cthulhu Wars, I picked up Secret Hitler, and I picked up Odin's Ravens. And I'm looking forward to learning how to play Odin's Ravens, I think, the most.
It's super simple. It's a good little game.
I think Sandy Peterson is just going to create Cthulhu Wars stuff until he buries the world in plastic.
He has a very high opinion of himself.
Yeah, it'd be amazing if he could deliver the Cthulhu Wars in a timely fashion. Perhaps it might be because he wears sunglasses in the daytime indoors that he's not able to look at the spreadsheet correctly.
He broke his glasses.
He broke his glasses. That's why
I asked him why. I thought he was sleeping. I said, "Are you sleeping behind those glasses?" He goes, "No, I broke my glasses."
He broke his other glasses, so he had to wear his prescription sunglasses. So
That's
yeah,
awesome, though. I saw him walking around the whole time. It was so great.
send him a letter and apologize.
Hello, Aldi.
What's going on, guys?
Oh wow, who moved the rock?
I was on last week. What are you talking about?
Whatever.
Wait, Aldi, aren't you being interviewed for a thing right now?
Am
I don't know. Someone announced that. I heard someone say that they spoke to you at Origins, and then you were going to be on their show on a Wednesday interview.
Oh yeah, I haven't set that up yet.
This week.
Yeah. I know. Next week, maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
I didn't really lock myself into a time yet.
Gotcha.
Is there another? Is that show on tonight on Wednesdays as well?
I don't know. That's the whole thing. I don't remember it.
It's heavy cardboard, guys.
Oh, okay.
We do live shows a lot, so
I shouldn't say guys. It's a guy. It's a man and a woman.
Yeah.
I don't know what their format is. Should I? I mean, I assume it's serious, right?
Yeah, seriously.
It's not like a jokey thing, right? Like heavy cardboard. That's serious.
No. They've got a nice format actually.
Okay. Oh yeah. No, he asked me at Origins. I said yeah.
Hey, next week I'm gonna have to have somebody else host, but I will log in from Dice Tower Con. So
Same here.
but yeah, maybe Pete can come over to the room and we can and then he and I can just tag team, baby.
And Rick's going to sleep through the whole thing?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Well, they're all suites, I guess, like the rooms at the hotel that Dice Tower Con's held at.
Yeah, the bedrooms are separated by a bathroom, and then there's a couch, TV, and desk, and the couch is a pullout. So if he's in his room sleeping, we could set up in the office section and shut the door from the bathroom, and you'll
all right.
Shut the door.
Shut the door. We will be partying.
Comma check. You said shut the
No.
So, Lance, what happened to you at Origins? I saw you first day and then never saw you again the entire time.
I just working,
Were you
man.
sick? Did you go back to your room?
Well,
I never saw you at the Nerd Night. Oh no, did I see you at the Nerd Night or something?
Yeah, I played Word Slam with you.
Yeah, that's that's the last time I saw you.
When you were losing, I showed up. We won like 5 times in a row, and then I just dropped the mic and I left.
It made me feel inferior, man. I thought I had some skill at that game.
Well, I was like,
You're just like a natural.
The one was great. You're like, you put down soft, yellow, butter. I said,
yes.
Nothing. Word Slam. That is a great
Did
game.
you just say Lance was a 1 second natural?
Yeah.
That
Slam. I played it. That was the only game I played it. No, I played Crabellum one time too, but Word Slam was my game.
Oh, Word Slam is I didn't even know it existed, and that is a bomb, man.
So I'm gonna not play with the cards fanned out anymore. I think that kind of breaks the game a little bit.
You're not supposed to. You're supposed to think through them.
Well, there's not really. Yeah, it says give each team 4 stacks of cards. That's what it says in the rules.
Really?
And so we were just laying all the cards out, and it made it felt like hyper Word Slam. Like everything was solved instantly.
Well, yeah. Well, it wasn't instant. I mean, there were a couple that it took us a while.
Yeah, I like playing the really hard words. Those are really fun.
Well, like that, Pippi Longstocking. I mean, it's just like find red, and then just. I mean, it's
who was on the team again? I don't remember his name, but he was amazing.
Yeah, he was good.
He was just a monster.
I think he was
kidding. Oh yeah, he's whispering.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I got to Nerd Nighters late, and I mean, I don't know. It was already in kind of full swing.
Yeah, me too.
It was, I don't know. I didn't really. Nerd Nighters is weird, man. It's like I get there and I feel like, okay, I'm gonna go to this thing. I'm gonna show up, and then it's just kind of like, I don't know.
Nothing really. Yeah, it's just there. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know.
It's not really like organized. I guess is the word.
No comment.
I mean, you just show up and it's like you just hang out. I mean, that's basically
yeah,
what it
and
is.
I was more than willing to. We donated our stuff, and
They had so many prizes. They was giving away like 200 games.
Yeah, I mean,
Crazy.
it was cool that people.
Checking my sources.
What
Shut
the
up.
hell? It was cool that people there was giveaway stuff and there was things that were cool like that. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. It was it's really cool. I mean, it was better than the one at Gen Con where they have no lights and you can't see anything.
I sponsored the lights for them last year. They had lights last year.
I know last year they finally did, but
Yeah.
I mean, the years before
Yeah.
that, where you're walking in, so we can play games. Yeah, if we can,
Yeah. I remember showing up one year and people were sitting with their iPhone lights playing heavy games, crazy, strong Euro games,
yeah, trying to decipher what's going on.
So speaking of Gen Con and lights,
lights.
Gen Con for the past 3 years has had the lights go out in the event hall on Thursday night every year.
Really?
Apparently, they have it set on a timer that it just shuts off the lights at a certain
Oh, the
time.
you're talking about the main gaming hall.
Like the big, huge gaming hall.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one that you and Lincoln wandered into that one night, and
That's
you were
where,
like,
yeah.
"Oh my god!"
Okay, I met you for the first time, right? Yeah.
But in the past 3 years, at the same time, all the lights shut off, and they don't shut off all at once. They break down. It's like in the movies, when they open the lights in a prison, they slam down in sections, and then everyone just whips out their phones and just keep playing.
Yeah,
and then you wait 20 minutes till someone
they got to reheat them up, right?
powers them back up, and then after that, they're on the rest of the weekend. But
hey, what I want to have the Price is Right. We should do this close to without going over. What will the temperature in the dealer hall room be on Wednesday when we're during setup day at Gen Con?
96 degrees.
Whatever the legal limit is for them not to turn the air conditioning on.
Yeah, it just back
97.5 degrees.
What was it? I remember somebody.
Oh, got it. Wasn't it that Sherry fainted? People in the it was the Ad Magic team. She's like, I had to send somebody to the hospital. I'm like, that's ridiculous. This is board games.
96 degrees with 90% humidity.
Yeah, it was rough last year.
Yeah, it was
I'm not looking forward to it.
And don't forget how many people don't know the concept of deodorant at that point.
Well, it's hard to no deodorant can get through freaking 90 degrees, 90% humidity, and working.
wait, and the worst part of it is never mind just the working is there's one friggin' door open.
Yeah.
When you set up, and if you come from the other way,
Didn't they turn? No, that was last year. They did not turn the air conditioning. So what
Last year they
what
did,
I
yeah.
heard in the past, and I think I've said this before, is that Wizards of the Coast sponsored the air conditioning on day one.
I can believe that.
On Sunday.
Last year
They're not there
than
anymore.
It was 2 years ago. 2 years ago it was when it was brutal.
Yeah, I did find out. If you go out through one of the loading docks and you kind of just hang remember where the new area was, or they kind of where all the new spot was. If you go past that, and you had to have an exhibitor's badge, obviously, but if you get past and go right through and go onto the loading docks and hang a right, there is there's a soda machine and a water machine, and it's $1. Only $1 for drinks. So if you get thirsty, you can get nice cold drinks over there.
So
Yeah.
the bathrooms are air conditioned.
the bathrooms are extremely air conditioned.
So we went in there to cool down, and then you turn the water on, splash water, and the water's hot.
Because that's the place where you want it to be cold.
I know.
Put
I
your
don't really want to be.
stuff.
This was pre those things getting destroyed. First day. Right?
Oh yeah, the bathrooms at ICC are gorgeous on Wednesday. Thursday, they are the seventh layer of hell.
Oh god, yeah.
No, I mean it's pretty murderous.
People are disgusting,
Yeah, pretty much.
especially men. Oh, god.
No, women are actually worse. Aldi.
No, I don't know about that.
Women's
I don't think so.
bathrooms are worse
There's
than men's
no
bathrooms.
way.
From what I hear at
Every
work, the
time-
women's are worse.
Because women don't sit.
Huh?
Women don't sit in public bathrooms. They hover.
Really?
Yes, and they don't have actual something to aim with.
They don't really hover. They kind of squat.
What?
Hovering would be a trick.
They don't have actual like they can't actually point.
I need
Where it's
verification for this.
They don't press ham. How's that, Jim? Is that
Oh,
easier?
jeez.
How did we get on this? Okay.
This seems like a very
Did you guys already talk about Origins yet?
vaguely, but not really.
Vaguely.
Not really hammer.
Go ahead, Albie. Lead the way.
I don't know. It was great. I had a good time. I think
How did it
Origins.
compare to last year's?
I think we talked about this. So my first at Origins was real laid back. Like we were just there. It was I think we came with only a few weeks' notice, and hold on a second.
Oh,
they're taking the ferry to Sweden. So yeah, we were just there for like very short notice and didn't have a lot of demos pre-set up. But this year we were like booked solid, so it was a lot busier for us this year.
Yeah, there was a lot
Felt
of
like there was a lot more.
downtime on your schedule last year.
Yeah, we had a lot of open time slots. This year, not so much.
Did you ever get in touch with the Dice Tower so you don't cross paths with everybody, or is that kind of up to the different publishers?
I think it's up to them.
Okay, because y'all are both doing the exact same thing and pretty much the exact same people.
Yeah, we do it different.
Yeah, but Aldi does it better.
I mean, it's presented different.
I mean, it's different.
Yeah, I
think they
you're
do a lot
publisher, you're
more.
gonna get on both.
What's up, Keith?
If you're a publisher, you're going to do both.
Yeah, why not? It's free. It's free.
double
It's
No.
free.
I was just curious if y'all tried to get y'all schedules and like work it out between you, or it's just up to the publisher to schedule it themselves.
No, I think it was just whoever. I don't think anybody, publishers schedule themselves pretty much. Basically, like 15 minutes, right? It's not like a huge amount of time.
Right.
15, 20. Unless you've got like Bonacore, like 15 games or something like that.
Did you see
I
what
forget.
Chad Scott? Did you see these blends Chad did of me and Bonacore?
Yeah, those were awesome.
I can't unsee them, unfortunately.
It is.
That
really-
one
I don't
looks
think
just
he went
like
far
Paul.
enough. I don't think he went far enough, but they're good. They're pretty awesome.
That one looks just like Paul.
The Paul, yeah, the
It
one
does. It's
totally
like-
does.
Now we know what a real person would look like cross between you two. Let's see, what else was at Origins? Nerd Night was cool. I was totally whipped on. I stayed up way too late at Nerd Night. I think we were up till 4.
Jesus.
And then I had to get up at 9. Now we had to, our booths we started at 9, so that was about 4 hours of sleep.
You found
And
an
then the
awesome restaurant.
I didn't think that restaurant was very good.
Lemon
Do not go to it. I forget what was the name of it.
Lemongrass. I think.
Lemongrass. Don't go there. It's the worst.
Oh, that Thai
Slow
place? Yeah.
Thai, not Thai. There's nothing Thai about it. There's nothing Asian about it. It's not any. It's terrible. Not going there again. That was a
Man,
waste.
There was an amazing place I went to, like right down the road. It was a Mediterranean sandwich shop. And they just like, you got your pita, and just like Chipotle, you just went through like, I want that, I want that, I want that. Phenomenal, though. It was one of the best places I ate. And there was great food.
Huh.
I don't remember what it was called.
We need a. I think we need a set aside a time next year to talk about the good places,
Yep.
so that they're in my mind before I go. Like, because I never know where to go. Like we just walk out and go somewhere. We don't.
Yeah,
Ever
there's a place called The
plan.
Levy that's Cajun food, and it's a hole in the wall, and it's fantastic. And
Have you guys been to Maxine's Chicken and Waffles?
No.
That place is it's literally attached to a gas station. It's downtown. It's amazing. Fried
Indy,
chicken.
right?
Is it walking distance? There?
I mean, you could take a friggin' Uber and it costs you like, less than $5.
In Indianapolis.
Isn't there one of those downtown in Indy?
Yeah, Maxine's Chicken and Waffles. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's on like I don't know. It's like Illinois.
It's like by Ohio and Illinois or something.
Yeah.
I think the best thing I had was the hot chicken from that place in the North Market. We missed
Every
it
time.
last year.
I thought it was okay.
Which place in North Market?
The hot chicken place.
Oh.
Chicken takeover.
Yeah, we went there the first time, and then like all
You
the
just thought it was meh.
Well, no, I mean I think it's good, but it's just it's it's just weird. I don't know.
I think there's better food at North Market. That's my pick.
I would agree.
The Indian
I would
place
agree with
bombed
that.
for me this year.
Brassica. That's the sandwich shop, the Mediterranean place.
Okay.
I went to the Polish kielbasa place, and like the guy, like he said, I was like, oh, I'll have the Polish sandwich, and he he asked me which kind of meat I wanted. I told him, and he's like, "Do you want kraut?" I was like, "Yeah." "Do you like kraut?" "Do you like kraut?" I was like, he had a really thick Polish accent. I was like, "Yeah." "You want a lot of kraut?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." And like, I couldn't even see the bread after it was done.
He gave you a whole head of cabbage.
He basically
That's
did.
what Lance had. It was a little bitty sausage. And
I meant to try that this year, and I wanted to try
love
that
that
stuffed.
The
Have you
stuffed
had that-
cabbage.
the
The
stuffed
cabbage roll
cabbage?
is fantastic.
It looks so good, and I forget every year, and then
I always get a pierogi and cabbage roll.
The pierogies were really good there. That was good stuff.
Let's take potato, shove it in pasta, and drown it in enough butter to make freaking a chef just shiver. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah.
There is the deli. It's like It's not Katz's, but it's like Katz something. Katzinger's, which has a pimento spread. Which one of their sandwiches has pimento spread on it, and I cannot believe how good it is. I've never had anything like it in my life, and I had it. We had that twice, I think, maybe 3 times for lunch. The sandwiches, awesome. Anyway, the dinner places were mostly a bomb for me. We went to the BD's Mongolian Grill because we had a big group and kind of can handle a big group. But then after that, it was all downhill.
Did you go to? We always go to Germantown or German Village and go to Schmitz.
Yeah,
I've really
been in a long time because that's a driving thing, right?
Well, yeah, it's like a 5-minute Uber ride, So.
Are you guys talking about Origins?
Yeah.
We had a good dinner, Scott. I think.
Our dinner was great actually. But here's the thing: that place was better. I went back the next night and was terrible.
Tongi texted me last night. He's like, "I want to email Scott, but I don't know what to say."
Yeah.
He's not coming to Gen Con. He's not? Okay. He's gonna be with his family. He just wanted to check in with you and say hi.
Yeah. Yeah, so our dinner was fun.
Dice Star Con, everything's at the one hotel. I mean, like for food, you just eat at the hotel, or is there places nearby, or what?
Go to Disney.
I mean, you're in Orlando, so
yeah, there's tons of food within a mile of the hotel. You got
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking of BGG Con, the hotel food.
No, don't eat the BGG Con hotel food.
Man, there's a Chick-fil-A like half a mile away from there. You're set. Hate chicken is good.
Yeah, but you gotta walk outside in the hot.
Are you guys
sun.
exhibiting at Dice Tower?
We'll have a booth. It's not gonna we're not gonna have a bunch of stuff to sell. We're just gonna be showing off Crusaders and demoing that, and then I think we're gonna demo like some of our smaller stuff like Okie Dokie and stuff like that.
You have full art Crusaders?
Yep, full art Crusaders. We got like a professionally made demo copies made for the reviewers that have been sent out, and then like I'm gonna have one to.
I really want to see the art on that because I enjoyed that game a lot.
Yeah. So hey, Geislinger's in the chat. He's getting one. Yeah. So hey, we sent you your Robert. We sent you your copy of it. Of Crusaders, you should have it in a few days. But yeah, no, I don't know if you're at Dice Star Con, you want to give Crusaders a try before.
It's fun.
Yes, before we start it up in mid-July, the Kickstarter. Then yeah, and maybe we'll record your feelings on the game and what have you.
For promotional purposes only.
For promotion for our promotional Kickstarter.
My feelings?
Sure, I can do that. If you're going to be at Dice Star Con, I'll do it.
Oh, you're saying other people. I thought you were saying that you wanted to record my feelings because I generally say I hate every single game, and I just said that I like the game.
Well, the expansion is going to add dwarves.
Okay, hate it.
See,
no,
no, there's no dwarf expansion. Oh, and cool news. Scott Nicholson is visiting his parents here this weekend, so he's stopping by my house on Friday to play games, and then we're gonna go to Fargo escape rooms because he reached out to the escape room people, so I get to hang out with my I guess I would be his Padawan, if you will.
Yep.
But yes, the godfather of the video review, which is he didn't make it to town last year, but 2 years before he made it both times, and man, he is fun to play games with. He is.
Yeah, he is.
He's like it's almost like it's weird because I think he feels like he's like the MC of the game, and he's like a showman, and but it isn't like over the top like in your face. He's just like absolutely just like I don't know. He's just a lot of fun to hang out with. And it'll be fun to go to an escape room where the scholar, like the preeminent scholar of the world,
the most expert on escape rooms is
in the world. I'm gonna go to.
Did you watch the Red Bull thing he did?
I did. That was really cool.
Yeah. Except I think they boned the live or the show a little bit because they spent 20 minutes on a room that no one could figure out, and they just kind of like kept like, please cut that out. It was just boring.
Yeah.
But everything else was
yeah, so it was good stuff, you know. Origins was fun. I don't know what to expect from Dice Tower Con. I guess I'm lucky enough to be a guest of the convention, so I get to
they're flying you out and paying for your room and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Wow. That's awesome.
So I'm lucky enough to have that. So I have some things to do. Like I'm gonna I don't know. Heather told me she's got a bunch of events that I'm gonna either MC or I have to be a part of, which will be fun.
What would you do if you showed up and you were just in a dunk tank and there was a sign over your head that said "Undead Vikings suck"?
Well, that's fine. Funny enough, and I'm sad my daughter doesn't remember it, but when I was at my old job, we had a carnival we did every year, and I got nominated. Apparently, I had no idea that people really love the idea of putting me in a dunk tank. So I got nominated and asked, and people paid like $1 to charity, and you got the 3 tennis balls or whatever to throw them, and I personally, other than the CEO, the boss's boss guy or whatever, I made more money than everybody else combined or something. It was weird. They told me the numbers. It was a lot. And one of the first thing, and I hadn't got dunked at all. And my mother was watching my daughter at the time. My daughter was 3. And so they brought my daughter there and she paid $1 and I was bone dry. I hadn't, and then they let her go to the kids line and first throw, she couldn't throw. I mean, she didn't know how to throw, but somehow whatever, God decided, nope, hit the target, hit the bullseye, perfect, dead on, dropped me in the water. She thought it was hilarious. So yeah, that was. But so dunk tanks are fun, man. But you always get people who miss. They think they can run up and hit the button. You know, you gotta have a squirt gun or something or a hose to spray the people when they try to get close.
I went to a thing called the Freedom Festival with my family last weekend, and the very first thing we saw when we walked in was this cop. It was a dunk tank with a cop, and this guy was being such a dick. There were little kids, and he had a squirt gun, and he was squirting them. And he was just like, you got to do better than that if you want to get me wet, boy. Just totally berating these children. It was so humiliating.
Well, that's how you get people to do it. You know, you give them crap, and then oh, I'm going to show you. You know, then that's the attitude that they have. So
Lance, why do you always have to disagree with me? Can't we just agree once on one thing? Just
agree.
No,
Obviously.
Lance, I just want to agree on dunk tanks. I don't care about everything else. We can disagree on everything else. I just want to agree on proper dunk tank etiquette. I'm not wearing a shirt. Why? Because I'm trying to be vulnerable. I'm trying to show you who I am. And you are just shitting on our friendship with this dunk tank nonsense.
It's good to see you, Trent.
So why did you put spell your name of your company with a K?
Oh, here we go. All right, I'll tell you why. So here's why.
First, it was a typo, and they just let it stand.
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed my haircut was slightly Germanic, but that is how the Germans spell colossal. Secondly, we're going to use Kickstarter as a marketing platform. The idea being that the K was for K for the Kickstarter was the original idea. There is already a Colossal Games on BGG, which is kind of a non-existent small company, but nonetheless, we thought it would create confusion. Third, when we filed for the name as a corporation because we're not doing LLC corporation. We had to file a petition with the state, and there was like seriously thousands of companies, incorporated companies called Colossal whatever with a C. So Colossal with a K, there was only one. And even just getting the petition from the state for that, because we essentially have to acknowledge that there's another company called Colossal Inc. that Colossal Corporation that is not, doing what we're doing. They acknowledge us, so that way they're a security company, we're a board game company, we're both aware of it, we're not competing with one another, it doesn't create a conflict of interest. But that took 6 weeks. If we would have had to go through thousands of applicants, that would have taken months. And I like the name. And so, the reason why we have the gorilla is because, King Kong gorilla thing with the K, so another tie in there. At the end of the day, sure, if it was with a C, it's easier, but hey, at least the K is causing some conversation with a K.
Like the only thing I mentioned we were talking on the phone. I said like your gorilla is facing left, which
he's gay.
Just it's more common for logos. If you look, most logos face right, or like the impression of the movement is moving to the right because
our gorilla is an Asian female lesbian gorilla, and we're all about inclusion. And I feel like you're trying to push some Donald Trump dunk tank bullshit onto my company, and I don't like it.
It's probably that's likely. That's actually pretty likely.
I like that it faces left.
No, that's cool. I just said it. I remarked that it was.
I'm the only one here who doesn't have a shirt on. Maybe the facing left thing.
That's it. Everybody take your shirt off.
No, thank you.
No.
No. Okay. So
take your shirt off.
So here, I have a grievance because now I want to air a grievance because I had my little league's baseball today, and so I've been told by a couple other coaches that the team with the white T-shirts, their coach is kind of a jerk, and I was kind of like, oh, all right, well, so I just was like, all right, we'll see what happens here. So I'm playing the team with the white T-shirts, and like I got there, I live like 5 minutes away from the diamond, so I got my kids up and ready. We were there like good 15 minutes early. My son and I are out setting up the bases. We play on the diamond is used for softball, but we have bases we've done with basically little kids. They can't run like all the way to those big bags, right? So like you measure out a certain number of steps and you put like these other bases down. So I'm putting these bases down, and I get done and I see other players showing up, and the first person is this lady, and she's really, really nice, and she's like, oh, hey, how's it going? And it's just like, hey, this is, do you take it super serious or no? And I was like, no, we don't take it really serious. She's like, all right, well, we don't really care whether which team's home or visiting, that doesn't really matter to us. And I was like, yeah, neither here. Sounds fine. So I was like, oh, okay, well, she wasn't a jerk, that's fine. So then all of a sudden here comes like baseball dude, and he walks up to me, he's like, hey, you think it's okay if we use like the normal bases? And I was like, well, we're not supposed to. And it's like because the bases are up high, and the kids, they it's like it's dangerous for them. They can twist ankles. I've heard that kids have actually broken legs using those, and plus my kids are kind of short and and they're not very fast. So I didn't really feel like he's like, well, we've used them before. I think we should use them. And I was like, well, I'm not gonna. I've already put the bases out. He's like, well, yeah, but you could pick those up. And I was like, yeah, but I'm not gonna. And it's like, well, we've used them before. And I was like, well, then I finally said, you can use them then. My kids are going to use the small ones. And he got all harumphy and he wandered off. And so and already and he was like in this level, like if your kids get out, you don't care. You just let them keep playing. And so he actually obviously one of these kids was his son, and his son was like running back and forth and grabbing the ball. And actually, instead of you're supposed to throw the ball, he was like racing to bags to get people out. And so, and then he's like, and then he was trying to tell one of my kids, to like, okay, you're out, you got to go back. And the kid's staring at me, and I walked out. No, it's okay, you can go. He's like, well, yeah, but he's out. I was like, yeah, I know, but he's just gonna run because it's fun to run the bases, and that's what they're here. He's 5, he's here to run the bases and have fun. And he got harumphy with me again. And then so we got through. The whole thing is that both teams bat through their lineup twice, and then the game's over. That's how it works. And like it starts at 4:15 and ends at 5. So we ended, and it's about it's like 10-5. And I'm lining up my kids to go, high five and say good game, and I have to tell them not to show up for next week because it's 4th of July, and I see he's got his team coming out to bat again, and I was like, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, we got time to bat again. I was like, yeah, but my team won't get to bat then. Well, your team really needs to work on fielding. I was just like, we're not going to go out in the field, pal. And I was just like, and then we lined up and we shook hands and then he wouldn't shake my hand afterwards. And I was just kind of like, you're like the worst. You're just, and then now I was like, yep, that's right. He was the jerk. And it was that woman's husband. So that's my grievance. Let kids be kids. Let them have fun. So anyway, yes, very annoying. And I really don't like that guy. And I should be a better person. I should allow him to be the way he is. But he's a jerk. And I hope he doesn't sleep well tonight. Anyway, that's my grievance.
Did you call him a harumph-pyre before the way he was acting?
No, I did not call him a harumph-pyre, but I'm glad that I don't have to face him for the rest of the year now. So.
Can we talk about the Dune toys for a minute?
Hmm?
Can we talk about all the Dune toys I got?
So I thought you said you were going to go by and get those. Go back and get those.
I did.
Toys. They made Dune toys?
You didn't.
David
Scott,
Lynch?
go to my Facebook.
David Lynch's Dune?
I know, but what when I talked to you on the phone, you said you didn't buy them, and I said I told you should go back and buy them.
Buy them. I did not spend $1.
So how did you get all the toys then?
Sex.
Okay.
No,
Oh,
I
no, look at that picture.
Miles, and then he's like disappointed in himself that he's entertaining my indulging my ridiculousness. No, here's the story. I'm going to give my long-winded because your story about your kids was not really rewarding for me. So I'll talk about Dune toys.
God, I had no idea they made Dune toys.
So Scott,
awesome.
Scott, you look like Bono right now. I like it.
These are my blue blocker glare, anti-glare.
It's a beautiful day. So I went to the toy store this morning, the local toy store, and then I saw a Fade Ralpha, Sting's character in the Dune movie toy, and I had all the bits with it. And I'd seen this thing before, and I was like, I don't want to buy this because I know myself. I'll end up getting everything for Dune if I buy this. And I don't want to open the Pandora's box. So then this guy behind me who is trying to literally dress like Star-Lord from Guardians of the Galaxy, he's literally wearing the shirt that Star-Lord wears in this most recent movie, the T-shirt in the beginning of the movie, and has a Star-Lord jacket on, and has a haircut like Star-Lord and has facial hair like Star-Lord, turns to me and says, "Oh, you like Dune? They got a ton of Dune shit over at this weird CD place by the mall." And I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, they got like tons of it. It's crazy." And so I, of course, having no restraint, I drove over and looked, and lo and behold, I see the Shai Hulud, I see the Sand Crawler, I see the Beast Raban, I see the Sadukar Warrior, and I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And then I look at the price tag on these things, and I'm like, there's no way in hell I'm going to buy these things. So then I leave. I go on eBay, and these things are like worth so much money, it's crazy. And then I think to myself, wait a minute, these guys buy old DVDs. I have a shitload of DVDs that my wife wants me to get rid of that are just taking up space. So I just got a tub and threw a bunch of crap that I didn't care about that's all on Netflix, brought it there, and the guy was like, well, you got $180 in store credit. And he brings up the Dune stuff. We start talking about it. He's a David Lynch fan. We end up talking and kind of geeking out for a little bit. And then he's just like, you know what? Just go get all that Dune shit, and you can just have it, and we'll just call it even. So I got like probably $800 worth of Dune toys in the original boxes, unopened, for $180 of credit in bullshit DVDs that I no longer cared about.
So you're going to flip this stuff, or are you going to keep it?
Nah, I already opened the figures.
Oh man.
No, the figures are only worth like $20 a piece, so that's not a big deal. And the packaging was so old, the plastic was so old, it was like crumbling. They had Baron Harkonnen before, and he was like, he's in his bloated suit, and he was so heavy that he broke through the plastic and just hit the ground and shattered in the store.
Oh no.
So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna take these out. I took the smaller I built the Spice Scout, which was awesome. It's crazy how like old toys were like it was literally still on the sprues, the components. The instructions of this thing were really bad. Like it was very confusing, but I figured it out. And I mean, I was like so happy, but I was also sneezing like horribly for 2 hours straight because these things have so much dust and like probably not regulation safe materials used in making them. So yeah, it was a nightmare.
Did the laser gun still work?
I don't know, but you can literally see all of the little components inside. Joe, what's going on, man? Are you doing your taxes?
Yep. No, I'm trying to find something.
It made me. He's gonna pull out more Dune toys than I bought and make me feel like shit. I know. No, it was like super exciting. It made me really happy. I don't know. I really like Dune. I really like David Lynch. I'm in that little Venn diagram, as I said, where I actually think the movie is good.
I like that movie. I just watched it again recently.
I think it's awesome. David Lynch hates that movie. He basically pimped himself. Do you know the whole story behind it? Like with Alejandro Jodorowsky was supposed to
Yes.
Did you
watch that documentary? It's amazing.
Where he literally was raising his son to be Paul Atreides, took him out of school and just made him take sword fighting lessons every day.
I don't remember that part, but okay.
The guy is a nut job. But yeah, no, I thought it was really cool. Today was a good day. We had that, and then we'll have some big news for BGG here probably next week, where my new company Colossal actually is partnering with another small publisher, taking on their catalog and the main person. So big stuff already happening out of the gate.
So I missed it, but did y'all announce like y'all's first game or anything like that?
No, our first game, we're going to announce that around Gen Con. Our first 2 games.
Cool.
Just doing stuff slow right now.
Are y'all gonna like try to specialize in anything, or y'all just kind of just go into it just straight out?
If it doesn't have a K in any of the mechanics, then we're not doing it. Cool. My favorite comment of all of the bullshit goading that Pete and Josh Githens and everyone did was Paul Butler's comment, "Cool, are all of your games going to be sign language themed?" I thought that was beyond the funniest. Because someone started saying Coco the gorilla because of the gorilla. I don't know. At the end of the day, I don't really think it matters what your company's name is or what your logo is. I feel like there's probably like 5 companies that people give a shit, that are super brand loyal, like in mass. There's of course small instances of that. And it's like when people are like, "Oh, who designed that?" It's like, really? Do you know who designed that? There's like 5 designers that people genuinely, I think, know about, and then the rest, it's like they kind of know about, but they don't really care. I think gamers like games. Like they don't really give a shit about who's making them, what companies are making them. I feel like that brand loyalty stuff is like way at the back of the line of consideration for why people buy things.
So you should consider though putting a TM on your logo.
Yeah. Well, I just threw that up quick on the Facebook page so people could see it. I wanted to kind of get people's reactions. So
Quick, steal it.
What's that?
I said, quick, steal it, somebody.
Go
Trademark it as our own.
Go for it.
Did you guys
Anthony.
see that Handsome Glick started a trademark of the word meatball?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's
The
bullshit.
German trademark patent office has not patent office, trademark office has a registration for meeple from Handsome Glick.
So what happens there?
I don't know. I'm just wondering, what is how does that happen?
Well, typically the registered trademarks are only enforceable in the country of origin.
Right, but meeple was invented in America. I don't
think
know.
it would be tough
I
to
don't know.
enforce.
I just saw some news thing blurb come by it.
That's one that might get granted, but would never stand in court.
But it's in Germany too, so who knows what the rules are there.
The Germans.
It's me, but
Hey Jim, rumor has it you have some comic book before and afters for us.
I do. Are you guys ready?
Nope.
Yeah, let's.
I made them
Can you
easier
give me
for
2
you.
minutes? Can you give me 2 minutes?
Yeah.
Hold on,
Sure.
I'll be right back.
What is the wife?
Alexa, set
The
a
wife- the
timer
wife-
for 2 minutes.
Yeah,
His wife needs 2 minutes.
2 minutes of his time.
All right, Alexa's counting.
So, Sidereal Confluence is the real deal. That game's the bomb.
Oh, is it
I
good?
haven't opened mine yet. I've got it, but I haven't opened it yet.
I played it twice now, and it is great. So,
What kind of game is it?
it is like all simultaneous trading. Like, I don't know, like if you actually, but then you okay, so you get all these cubes that ostensibly are resources, and then you trade them back and forth simultaneously with everybody else at the table. It's for 4 to 9 people, and we played with 4 and we played with 6, and 6 was strangely better than 4. And then because of your alien race, you have certain powers and abilities you can do with those resources, and then you can turn them into other things. And so then basically you're trading, and trading goes until you get a vote to end the trading stage. And you might want to still trade, but if the majority of people at the table say we're done, then you're done, and then everybody simultaneously takes the resources and the cubes that they have, and they use them to with their special powers and things, and process those cubes to theoretically then have them available to trade the next round. And you do that and that's the whole game, and it lasts about 2.5 hours, and it is fiddly as all get out, because there are tons of little things you can do with your cubes and what you do, but it's a lot of fun. It's highly interactive. It might last a little bit too long, but it's a good time. So I admire somebody who actually comes out with something that's brand new and not that is definitely a design that did not play it safe. It was
Alexa, stop.
Odd. Why do you talk to your wife that way?
Stop.
No, my wife got me the Echo for Father's Day, and it's been a lot of fun to play with.
Wait, you're your wife's father?
By the way, have you seen the video Alexa Jones?
Mm-hmm.
No.
It's hilarious. Do a search for it, Alexa Jones Echo. It's pretty funny.
All right, if you say so. Yeah. Is Aldi back?
No.
Dang it, Aldi.
I need to go to sleep anyway. I got to finish watching Pacific Rim.
I've never
Why?
seen that. Any good?
No.
I find it hard to believe you haven't seen that movie before, Travis.
I've seen it before. I'm watching it again.
I've never seen it.
The only thing good about that movie is Charlie Day from the scientist character.
No, I kind of like it. It reminds me of it's like a weird sports drama, right? It's like how it's got the sports drama element that the Stars show Spartacus had, where the rival guys and all that crap. It's got the Godzilla and the robots, and it's fine. It's got Ron Perlman. Who doesn't like Ron Perlman?
There's Aldi.
Hey.
Aldi, you like Ron Perlman?
Do I not like Ron Perlman? I like Ron Perlman.
Did you like the movie Pacific Rim?
Yeah.
Did you like the Spice Network sequel Pacific Rim Job?
Oh my gosh.
The Spice Network must
Spice Network. God, that was a thing, wasn't it?
Dude,
Is it still a
I
thing?
had a satellite dish when I was a kid, and when my parents were not home, I was watching the Spice Network on satellite. Big time.
Brings back memories.
Brings back memories.
Yeah.
The Spice Network.
All right.
The spice
Number
must
one.
flow. All right, here we go.
Come
Before and after.
Every one of these has a comic book reference in the answer.
Okay.
All right. Anthony, you ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. He sounds so excited. Number one, Messenger for Galactus featured in the third studio album of the Beach Boys.
Aldi.
Aldi.
Silver Surfer Girl.
Correct.
Too
Number
easy.
two, feline Felicia Hardy will chase a moon shadow long after morning has broken.
Lance.
Lance.
Black Cat Stevens.
Yes.
And Felicia Hardy.
Yes.
And we'll just leave it at that. That's
Number three.
one of the best drawn Spider-Man girlfriends of all time.
Agreed. Number three, what if a Hawkeye Avenger starred in a Coen Brothers movie about a playwright living
Lance.
next door to John
Lance.
Goodman?
Lance.
Lance.
Clint Barton
Lance.
Fink. Clint Barton
Correct.
Fink.
Correct. Number four.
So last week we cheated by making me have to go wait a question. Now we're going to just give Lance all the comic book stuff. Next week it's all wrestling.
I was like, is it initial still all wrestling esoteric?
It is his show.
Wrestling and Fargo landmarks.
We have to talk about
Next week is the top 2 Minnesota Vikings.
Wrestling and Fargo landmark.
This is to build Lance up after you eviscerated Anthony. All right. Number four. After his body was revived by the living laser, he joined the Avengers, Simon is found to be a perfect boyfriend for a woman mistaken for a stranger's blind date.
Oh, fuck.
What was the second part?
Jesus.
Yeah, I know the first part. What's the second part?
Anthony.
After Anthony.
Peter Parker Stevenson.
No, not even close.
After his body was revived by the living laser and he joined the Avengers, Simon is found to be a perfect boyfriend for a woman mistaken for a stranger's blind date.
Strangest blind date? Strangers?
Strangers.
A stranger's blind date.
Wonder Man what?
Yeah, well, it could be Simon Williams something, but Wonder Man. I don't know. I don't know what the second. I don't know what.
Wonder Man of La Mancha.
Wonder Man Up.
Stevie Wonder Man.
Wonder Man Up. Man Up was a movie starring Simon Pegg, where he was a perfect boyfriend for a woman.
Wonder Man was one of my
Blah, blah, blah,
favorite.
blah, blah. All right.
Is one of my favorite superheroes of all time. He was awesome.
Yeah, I know.
He's been revived like 3 times.
Well, and he came back in like three different eras, and yeah, good stuff.
Mm-hmm. Next,
Anthony.
Anthony.
J. Jonah Jameson of Sam.
That is correct.
If it's good enough, you got to give it to me.
That was good.
A human form for Thor and that gossipy girl Serena Vanderwoodson.
Oh, which human form though?
Keith.
Say it again.
Keith is buzzed in.
Keith.
Donald Blake.
Keith. Correct.
I was going with Sigurd Jarlson. God, I was trying to think of that. Oh well.
Yeah, I
don't know
find a lot
anything
of
about
good
comic
names
books.
with Jarlson.
Sigurd Jarlson was his in the early
construction
1990s.
worker guy.
Yeah, he was the construction worker.
Yeah.
This beach
All right,
boy
everyone-
is on 14th Street in Fargo. Brian Wilson's Deli.
You know, actually, 14th Street is where my buddy Craig grew up, and I used to play basketball on 14th Street, like every day after high school.
Number 6. Give Aldi a chance for this one. Peter Parker's first true love, whose mother has apparently really got it going on.
Anthony.
Anthony was before me.
Anthony.
Gwen Stacy's
Anthony.
mom.
Yes.
Yep.
That was
What?
good.
What? Oh,
Gwen Stacy's mom. Who's got their
That's a
telephone?
long
is
one.
that?
Someone
Number
writing.
7. What if Spider-Woman encountered an extraterrestrial and then went on 50 first dates?
It'd be on the Spice Channel.
Oh, Lance.
Lance.
Jessica Drew Barrymore.
Correct. Number 8. Master of Mystic Arts or 1975 hit by the Electric Light Orchestra?
Anthony.
Oh, Lance.
Anthony.
Doctor Strange Magic.
Oh.
I'll take it. I was going for Stephen Strange Magic, but that's close enough.
He's a
Yeah.
doctor.
Last 2.
Yes.
One's an easy one, one's a hard one.
He didn't go to Mr. School.
Let's finish with the easy one. So give us the tough one now.
The tough one first.
Yes.
All right. A werewolf by night that loves boxed chocolates and candies.
Anthony.
Anthony.
Stephen Forrest Gump.
A
the
werewolf
first
by
part?
night. A werewolf by night that loves boxed chocolates and candies.
A werewolf by night.
Werewolf by Night was my favorite comic.
I remember reading Werewolf by Night.
Oh, Pete.
Pete.
Jacob Russell Stovers.
Close. Jack Russell Stover. I'll give it to you.
Jack Russell.
That was
And
the
now the
easy one.
easy one. That was the hard
Oh,
one.
that was the hard one. Okay.
Lance wanted the hard one. Yeah.
Yeah, I
This
know
is
that.
the easy one.
Lance likes the hard one.
Baxter, here we go. Baxter Building Super Foursome or Sugar Pie Honey Bunch Motown Quartet?
Anthony.
Anthony.
Fantastic Four Tops.
Correct. And that's all I got.
Those are good. Hold on one second.
Anthony, you have to do a John Travolta themed one.
Old John Travolta ones.
Yeah, John Travolta cameos.
If you're making fun of me, I didn't hear you.
No, we're not making fun of you.
No, we wait till you can hear us to do that.
Chances.
What's going
Travis
on?
was just saying how much you look like John Travolta.
Anthony,
Are you?
dude,
What's going on with the lights in your house, Lance? Are you waiting for your TMG paycheck to clear or something?
No, I just turned the lights off. What's?
Pete, give him some of that CMON money.
Okay.
Hey, are you gonna?
Jesus, spit it out.
Start again. Use
All right.
your English language.
Okay.
Use
yes.
your words. Use your words, Lance.
My local game store isn't part of your exclusive little club. How am I going to be able to get a hold of Godfather early?
You won't.
Wah, wah.
Not even if I reach out to Ruby and say, send me one.
No, that you may be able to do that. That's if they're not part of the program, then they won't be available till the 28th of July.
I just sent Zeb an email and said, hey, what's going on with this game Sidereal Confluence? I want it. And he's like, give me your address.
Wait, hold on a second. I'm gonna find out if we have a store in your area. I bet you we do.
You have a store in your areola?
Areola, yep. That is.
It's a hard place to be in the winter.
Yes. See if you can find one near zip code 56560.
And then don't send any there.
Yep.
Lance's MO is to badger you for games, and then he never does the review.
Yep.
I'm asking to pay for it.
Oh, you're asking to pay for it? Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you were fishing for a free copy.
You're in North Dakota, correct?
Well, I'm on the North Dakota border, so
Okay. There's a store in Dickinson, North Dakota that is part of the program.
2 hours away.
Yep.
So what is the
hold on,
program? What is the program?
Oh, it's our organized play program, and it also grants early access for like pre-release. So all of the stores that are in our program can get The Godfather on July 14th, whereas
So why
everyone
would
else
every
won't get
store
it.
not just automatically sign up for that? Is it?
I don't know why it's free. It doesn't cost
Yeah.
them anything, and they get take advantage of all of the perks. So I
Could
don't know why.
could they sign up for it like right now?
Maybe
and
it's
then-
just they
and then
forgot.
when they get it.
They could sign up now, but most likely all of the allocation for the early Godfather's been taken. They should.
But Pete, you know that Lance is going to drive to get it. So since you know he's going to drive up to get it, why make him spend the gas money to go? Just send him a game.
Well, who knows if that place even ordered any? So
That's also true. They may not have.
Dude,
cared
I'm
about
trying to
it.
help you here. Don't dig it out.
yeah, I don't know. That's fine. I'll just steal one from Dice Tower Con.
Maybe will they have a copy?
I'll have 3 copies there. We're donating one for the charity auction that's going to be painted and signed by Eric Lang, and then we'll be demoing with the other 2.
Hold on. I have a question. Who is Eric Lang?
Some designer we signed on. I think he's okay. Pretty
Hey,
good.
when does the embargo on the reviews go away?
I think it was this week because I saw everyone posting their stuff this week.
Cool. Yeah. Awesome. So yeah. Anybody else have
so
anything?
I played some games.
Oh,
Played
please
that
tell us.
Fantasy Realms game. I thought it was really good.
That is fantastic.
Sorry, we already talked about that.
Played Fantasy Realms. You already talked about that game?
I love it.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I played it 6 times in a row.
Yeah,
I never
Yeah.
do that.
3 times. Yeah. Yeah, it's real simple. You start with like 7 cards, I think.
It's very like Tides of Time, but I think it's like way better.
Tides of Time. Which one is that?
That's that
Oh, that's where you go
order
crazy.
game that just a
You're trying to make your best combo.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you basically start with a hand of 7 cards. Every card in the deck is unique. I think there's 60 cards total. And then you play, you draw a card and play a card. And if you draw a card, you can draw it from the top of the deck or you can draw it from the discard pile. So all the cards in the discard pile are visible. And you're basically trying to build a combo of scoring that work. All the cards kind of interact with each other in some way. For instance, you might have a card that says, if you have the Elven Sword and also the Elven Archer, you get 60 points or something like that. Like, so the
But it's
combos-
all scoring. It's
all scoring. There's no, well, some cards also blank other cards, which basically cancels them. And then some cards cancel those. And so it's kind of a neat little fun puzzle to say, oh, does this card fit in my combo?
I was talking to Zev today on the phone, and he was talking about it. He said that game had been passed over for like 3 years, and then he finally was like, this is really good.
I was talking to Morgan at Mayfair, and he said they wanted to do it, but I guess maybe it was during the buyout time, when they the splitting of the company or whatever.
Yeah, I think it's cool. I mean,
it's a neat game. He also, and I think it plays like 6 players.
Yeah. Did you play Tournament at Camelot yet?
No.
Fuck, that game is mean.
Mean.
It is like the meanest game I've ever played in my life.
Meaner than Bemused?
It's meaner than whatever you just said.
Meaner than a junkyard dog?
I don't think it could be meaner than Bemused.
It's mean.
It's not mean. Bemused isn't mean.
No, it's fun. The game is really fun.
I'm just messing with you, Jim.
It's a trick-taking game.
I know. I love you too, Aldi.
It's a trick-taking game with just hate infused into every moment.
Okay.
Hit trick-taking with hit points. The most bullshit rule in the game, which is amazing. It's not a bullshit rule. It's a bullshit rule when it happens to you is if you're winning a trick, and so we were playing 3-handed when we played, and if ever 2 people play the same number, then you flip those cards down, and then whoever has the lowest face-up card at the end of the tournament takes those cards on as damage. So you could be winning and then lose. Yeah. It's bullshit. It's awesome.
Who makes that? Who publishes that?
WizKid.
Is that a Wiz? Okay. Who's the designer?
Ken Shannon.
Okay. I also played Lorenzo Il Magnifico.
Game sucks.
I thought it was pretty good.
No, I'm kidding. I haven't played it.
It has the biggest wooden dice I've ever seen.
I like how Pete got real serious for a second, and then I said, "Just kidding." And then he goes, "Yeah, it's good." I love Ethnos.
I do too.
I don't know why you guys made that game look like you made it out of, I don't know, like it looks like a kid's art project or something, except for the illustrations. But that's a good ass game.
Let me ask you this, and this is not necessarily a criticism of Ethnos, but it feels to me like half my game is just drawing the top card of the deck. Is that just our group's think to get up to 10 cards and have a full hand of 10 cards?
That's a terrible strategy.
Yeah,
Really?
it is. That's actually really bad. You'll very
So
seldom.
you'll basically just play
better than
nothing. Well, wait, hear me out. So instead of me drawing up to 10, so that I might actually get a card back in my draw, because the cards will, as soon as I play cards, they're going to instantly evaporate.
Right.
Like, because everybody will be drawing off the top of a deck for an empty draft for like basically half the game. And then when someone plays 10 cards, maybe 4 or 5 of them, because I'm always going for sets of 6. I mean,
I usually when I win at that game, I usually play when I have a decent hand. I don't wait for the mega hand, because if everyone draws up that many cards, you're going to get to the 3 dragons before you can get that mega hand combo to really kick in.
I think you're
it's basically just
sacrificing a ton of tempo by doing that.
Yeah, the game I played, I think I played a game at Origins, and one person held their cards and tried to do the mega hand, and they finished dead last by like 50 points behind everyone else. No, the best strategy is to find something early and go for it, and just get as much stuff out on the board in the first 2 turns. And then if you're going to do mega hand, you got to do it late game.
There's so many factions in that game that reward playing smaller sums, like the
dwarves.
Well, it depends on what combo you
the
have.
orcs.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just telling you, like I played it like 5 times. I like it, but it does feel like all I'm doing half the time is drawing off the top of the deck.
That's weird. I haven't seen that.
Just
I've played that game like 30 times, and I don't think I've seen anyone. I've seen people do that when the halflings are out, but like just blindly drawing and hoping to get into one faction or one color is like.
Well, what am I going to do if I have 2? Let's say I have like 4 or 5 cards, and I have maybe like a pair or 3. Right?
So
then all my other cards go down and instantly get sucked up by everybody. So then it comes back to me, and I'm drawing off the top of the deck.
Well, sure, if you're in that situation, but ideally you don't want to be the
That
person.
happens all the time.
I don't think I don't agree. Sorry.
I was just going to say this. Maybe you could give an explanation as far as how the game is played for people that have no idea what we're talking about.
Okay.
So your Chicano gangs in South LA. One gang has pointy ears because of some sort of like power plant that's nearby. Another gang is Minotaurs. There's no thematic explanation for this. I hate that part. No, it's a fantasy game where like it's very simple. To me, what I say is it's like a fantasy version of Ticket to Ride that's awesome. It plays super fast. It feels like it plays well with every number of players. Every card, like it's got like kind of a smash-up-y thing where you play with X factions, and then those cards have abilities, and then there's overlapping strategies and combos within that. There's like what Aldi's saying, where like the more of a card, more of a band, as they call it in the game, you play, you score more points, kind of like placing trains in Ticket to Ride if you build a long route.
So in Ticket to Ride, drawing 30 cards is like the strategy, right? Like
it
is
is
30 cards, and then there's a hand limit in this game, so it's 10. And once you have
it's not
10
just
cards,
a hand limit. This game is an action. To me, it's an action compression game. So if you're spending actions hoping to draw into one type of a thing and you're throwing cards away, you're just helping other people. And also, if you play 6 cards or 1 card and you're only putting 1 marker down, and that 1 marker could be scoring you, it's not just points for that round. If you're playing the 3 full ages, it's cumulative area control. You're building toward that cumulative scoring. You're sacrificing.
But a 6 of a kind beats that in points in the area control game. Yeah, it does. You get like 25 points out of it or something.
You get more points the larger the band is. But what I think Travis is saying is that by playing small hands and getting more things out there, that area control points will end up outweighing saving up to play 1 or 2
and
big
you
barrels.
also don't, and you also your actions are leaner. You're not like you're getting more. You're getting more active play out of your cards rather than just draw, play some shit, draw, like, and then and you're also fueling other players.
So one of the things he didn't mention is when you play your band out, all the cards that you didn't play go to the discard pile or go to the draft.
Yeah,
a central draft, and so typically you play half your hand out for up to 6 cards is the max. I guess you could go over 6, but you don't score any more than 6.
Right.
And then all the other cards in your hand go into the draft. So then people, then that's your turn order, right? Like you're either playing cards or drawing a card. Like that's the game.
And the cards. So when you play a group of cards, you're either playing all cards of one color or you're playing all cards of one fantasy race. Right. And you choose one of those cards to represent as the leader, and then that is the ability that you choose.
Yeah, it gives you a special ability.
So
and I understand that there's definitely times when you would want to do quick short hits.
I mean, I would argue that the majority of the time you want to do that.
Okay, well, we should play and see how it goes. Well, like I was going for big bombs, right? And I probably won by like 30 or 40 points.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like especially like with factions like the orcs, like having.
Yeah, well, that's a different one.
Sure, but there's numerous.
Yeah, you want all your orcs out. You can play like one orc. I was playing one orc in an orcs game. I had to play one orc.
I think the centaurs are the same way. Like you can just play one centaur to drop an area control thing in somewhere incidentally, and then play another one and play.
And it depends on maybe I just haven't played with those kind of races that I.
I mean, I've certainly won where like during the age scoring I have a ton of one-ofs and just discard them all because they're not worth any points and still won because of area control and incidental scoring like giants and things like that, playing a larger group of giants. Or I think that my favorite of all of them is the trolls. I think that little tiebreaker mechanism is so good.
I ignored the trolls to my detriment.
The trolls, that mechanism is it's like literal, it's brilliant. It's so simple and it's so good. They're my favorite. And the skeletons. I like the skeletons because nobody wants those guys, and I'll take them every time. Every time.
Every time?
Every time.
I don't know if I mentioned this, but I'll take them every time.
Every time?
Yeah.
Every time.
Every time.
Every time.
60% of the time it works.
We played a combo. I think it was like the elves and the wizards and one other where basically there was never a card in the discard pile. Like never. Because you could just play. You could play multiple times and you play all your cards out and then you get your cards back.
I think
that was kind of a weird combo.
I think the wizard and the centaurs are kind of busted, to be honest. I feel like those cards are very strong and like the elves, like while they prevent you from discarding, like your net gain there isn't huge. The centaurs let you basically just get around. Like, so for your strategy that you were saying, Scott, if the centaurs are in the game, sure, draw up. Why not? You just go centaur. You know what I mean? Like you can drop a bunch of incidental ones so you don't have to discard them. And then the wizards, the card draw aspect it's a game about action compression. So anything that says like you play a bunch of shit and then you get back what you played is the best. That card is the best.
You get some really degenerate combos going in that game, which is fun, right? Because that's fun to do powerful things in games.
Yeah, no, I mean it's one of those games where like I like the only ones I don't like the wing folk just because it basically spits in the face of how the area control works. I get that it's a rule breaking mechanism, but I feel like there could have been something slightly different, like moving or manipulating or something instead of that. But and I don't like the wizards and I don't like the other one we said, the centaurs. The centaurs they might be the best because they let you get area control, so you feel like you're getting extra actions out of them.
All right, so I have to ask you guys, and I mean, I was waiting. Have you guys seen this Monopoly Gamer thing?
Yeah, I just ordered one.
Where'd you order it from?
Before you get too far on your next topic, I want to say good night, everybody.
Good night, Jim.
Have a good one, guys. Ciao.
GameStop released it today, and I called my local GameStop, and they're having one sent from another store because they didn't get them, and it'll be here tomorrow or the next day.
What is it?
It's a Monopoly Nintendo version that actually has like boss battles, and you can actually buy different playing pieces in bags. They're not blind bags. You can see what you're buying, but they sell all the different pieces in individual bags.
Yeah,
It's
so
kinda-
it's
Monopoly.
Well, it's Nintendo Monopoly, but you have special, like, you have a power-up die that you get to roll. If your characters land on certain spots, they get to use special powers. Each person has their own special power as well. Like if you get a certain spot or whatever, you're able to like move to the nearest unclaimed property. They took out all the paper coins, and they've just replaced it with paper money, and replaced it with like cardboard, like an actual decent thick cardboard coins.
No, I like paper coins. No, I do. I think that's a cool idea. It's never been done.
There's a reason. But yeah, check it out. I'll get it. I'll get one. I'm sure. I'll play with my kids.
So is it a GameStop exclusive?
No, GameStop just got the early release today. I think.
What platform is it on?
It's a board game.
So
it's not a video game.
It's not a video
GameStop
game.
has the special collector's edition.
Correct.
The
Did we
regular
talk about
one
the
comes
GameStop
out
thing last
normally.
week?
About them
Did we talk
carrying
about
board
the-
games?
Yeah.
No, but I knew about that already.
No,
It's a thing.
Why?
Well, their business is dying because of Steam. I mean, Steam's killing them.
Yep.
So
They're starting to carry a lot of stuff now. You can order VR sets through them now. You can get telephone plans through them now, and now they're carrying board games.
They had board
And
games like a
collectibles.
couple years ago.
Yeah, they
board
slowly
games.
started integrating them at special stores, but now they're all going to start carrying.
Yeah, they're starting to carry toys, and they're smart. They carry like the Star Wars Black Series.
Well, they bought Think Geek, right? So
Yeah, they bought ThinkGeek. Now they carry all their stuff. They're carrying the Force FX lightsabers and stuff. They're definitely diversifying to try to stay with the trend.
yeah, they made physical Think Geek stores as well too.
Yeah, we have one in the mall. I go there sometimes and try to scout for Black Series stuff when it first comes out. Sometimes they have it.
I mean, their time is making their business from being a pawn shop is ending, so you got to find a new model.
pawn shop.
I mean, basically, GameStop is a pawn shop.
Mm-hmm.
It gives you really crappy returns.
Hell, if you actually want cash, you actually have to fill out a pawn form in order to get cash back versus credit.
The problem I always had with GameStop was the fact that they have to unpack everything.
Yeah.
Like why can't you just put one up, like an empty box up on the shelf when I want to go buy the new Fallout for my kid, and then go in the back room and get me one that's in shrink?
I usually get
I
it
don't
in
understand
shrink unless
that,
you're
yeah.
going the last one.
Because the whole thing was why I don't want to ever buy gifts for my kids or my nephews or whatever, and have a thing that's unwrapped from GameStop.
I think it's unwrapped so they can say a used one is new.
That's what I was thinking. Like the cynic in me thinks they're putting the used shit and selling it as new.
I guarantee you they do it sometimes. I guarantee it.
But I'm like that. If they sold us the games like that, I'd be like, okay, fine. I'm just gonna go to GameStop. I know they're gonna have more choices than Toys R Us or whatever. And I don't have to wait for the stupid guy to come over with the freaking key to let me in the vault.
The vault. I love the idea of a vault. Like, I mean, well, like recently, like I went to, like, I actually became like a GameStop member because I'm dumb. And so because like, I don't know, they sold me on like, oh, if you pay us $20, you'll save $30 buying this stuff. And I was like, all right, fine, whatever. And no, so I went through that process, and then like I remember, like, yeah, I agree. It's like, oh, you bought the last one, so we give you like this opened package already, and they had to like take the DVD and put it. It was weird. It was just
That's their standard thing.
I thought it was dumb.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, I've actually.
that's why they're going into business. Well, they're not going into business, but they're struggling in the age of electronic distribution.
Yeah, electronic, and I mean the game companies were catering to them for a while, and finally they just get up and said, "Nope, we're done. We don't need you anymore," because it's become mainstream enough for digital distribution that they don't need GameStop. Right? They
GameStop-
kissed their ass for a while, and now they're done.
GameStop is the only one left in my area. Well, no, there's one place left that's still trying to do the buying and selling used games. But the one other place that's still open is the only reason they're staying open is because all the stoners go there to buy their frisbee golf discs. So
all the regular game store here that sells board games and RPGs and miniatures does the video game exchange here. So
Really?
It's one-stop shopping. You can go in and turn in video games, you get store credit, and buy a board game.
yeah, I mean, I have like tons of PS3 games that I'll never be able to sell because nobody's gonna buy them. It's just kind of like, oh, I missed the
Sold
boat
a
on
bunch
those.
of PS3 games
Maybe
today.
just eBay them or something.
Yeah, well, yeah, so I can get what, $1 a piece. I mean, admittedly,
You're
yeah,
not
just get rid of
using
them. Yeah, that's true. No, it's weird. Just like that used to be a big thing, and like just like how video rental stores used to be a big thing. Now they just aren't anymore.
Oh, and remember you used to work in one, Lance? Tell us a story about it.
I have thousands of stories of the video rental store. The creepy old guy that would rent porn and return it 2 hours later.
My favorite thing about when there used to be like video rental stores was the guys who wanted to go into the porn section, and they would always like loom around whatever was nearest the porn section. And it seemed like I had a friend who was a manager at one of these places, and it was like they always were like some Ted Kaczynski type of fucking Unabomber looking guy with sunglasses and a ball cap on. And then when no one was looking, they would, slip through those corral doors or whatever, those saloon doors, and go into the section.
Ours were purposely very, very squeaky, so we knew if anybody was sneaking back there. Because people would rather steal the porn than and run the risk of like us that's when people shoplifted, and that's what we caught that in games. We caught kids stealing games all the time.
Did I ever tell you this story, Lance? So my buddy used to be a manager of a Hollywood video, and I was a pizza delivery guy, and I started at this new store, and this my first day, this guy goes, "Want to see something cool?" And he takes me in the back, jumps in a dumpster, and just hands me like 1,000 photos. And it was the place next door that did school and wedding photos, and they would just throw away all the bad ones. And so me and my friend would take pictures, like just really awkward pictures of kids, and we'd write fake phone numbers on the back of them, and we would put them underneath the case for the porno. So when they lifted it up, there was just a picture of a child staring at them. It was so, and then we'd watch them on the surveillance. It was so funny, unbelievably funny. Didn't like the idea. One time a guy returned, he brought one of the photos up and he goes, "This isn't mine," and he just left.
Did you guys see the Super Nintendo
Yeah.
mini or whatever the hell? Classic.
$80 comes out September 29th.
Man, they got some good games on that though.
Brand new Star Fox.
What?
Never released Star
Why don't
Fox.
they just put all these on the Switch so the thing I actually bought that I can actually buy?
They're probably
play
going
something?
to, but they're not going to do it right away because they want all these things to sell out.
Like I need another piece of plastic on my desk.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't have to buy it. I mean, I realize you're the $87 million
I'm
man.
not going to buy it actually, but I thought it was cool. I thought it was a cool idea because a lot of kids don't know about those games, right?
Yeah.
But it'll be completely sold out on minute 1 and then all scalped. So
Yep.
Yeah. They're tough to. I
think the Nintendo one is still impossible to get, right?
It is. They stopped producing.
And they stopped. They're basically making for 1 year and then they stop.
Yep.
Nintendo is it's a company that I just cannot comprehend.
Well, and like, where do you even pre-order that stuff? I don't even know.
They don't allow pre-orders. They don't allow pre-orders. It's first come, first serve.
Like at where though? At like a GameStop? Like
You have to go to GameStop, Target, Best Buy. Those places will all get a limited amount, but they won't take pre-orders on them. You have to just know somebody, or you have to be there 5 a.m. in the morning to come out.
Well, it's just September. Nobody has
September
their
29th.
Oh, so basically, Go to there and stand there at midnight and wait.
Or be lucky enough to live in a very small town where there's not that many people. Because I walked in the day the Nintendo Classic came out. I walked into my GameStop at 10 o'clock when they opened up and got one. But I live in Podunk, Greenville, South Carolina. So
fair enough. What was the other thing I was thinking about?
Initials?
Well, I suppose we should do that eventually, right?
Are we still talking, or are you going to play Initial?
We're going to wait for Keith to come back. So
I wanted to ask people about Millennium Blades. Has anybody played Millennium Blades?
Oh, it's so fun.
I have it, but I have not played it yet.
Man,
Game's a
Cool game.
fantastic.
I love it, and my game group hates it. So I can't play it.
Yeah,
I understand.
Well, your game group sounds like shit. You play Ethnos wrong, and they don't like Millennium Blade. So
Oh my god. Yeah.
maybe it's time to get a new game group guy that owns a game.
Time to
group.
get a new game group.
It's hard to get to the
I
table.
was
though.
stoked to play it because usually play it the first time. It takes forever, right? Because there's a million cards and you're kind of like whatever. So I'm like, I want to play it again. I really liked it, and then they're like, yeah, we didn't like it.
Don't get the expansions then if you don't. If there's a million cards.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean that is a game that like it was like one of those weird. Brad Talden was telling me that it was like his dream to make that game. Like it was just
I
like
can
that
tell.
was.
It's amazing.
And he knew going into it that like it was for a very small market of people.
The amount of parody and satire, and like, not to mention the game,
Yeah.
just the amount of crazy fun ideas in that thing. Oh, it's awesome.
I like it a lot, but I cannot see myself getting it played more than twice a year, maybe.
Yeah, that's weird because it's basically like if you time it, it's only like going to take an hour and a half, maybe.
That's a beast to even think. It's like exhausting just thinking about playing it though, just setting it up and tearing it down and everything.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
It is unfortunate.
All right, guys, I got to go. It was nice seeing everyone.
It was nice
Travis.
seeing you.
You can check out Scott's new website at waterworldmoviewiki.com. Check it out. It's a great website. It has all Waterworld facts, really interesting articles, interviews from actors from Waterworld.
You joke, but I think I was like the only fan of Waterworld when it came
I
out.
love Waterworld.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I was literally going
I
to
had no problem with Waterworld, and everybody's like, "That's the worst movie
I
ever."
was literally going to get the map to Dryland tattooed on my back as a joke.
I highly doubt that.
You are looking at me with a shirt off right now.
Yeah, well, that's a dubious claim.
Lance,
That's all I'm saying.
I will pour battery acid on your face in 1 week.
Oh well, I love you too.
Pete, are you going to be there?
Yep. I get there Monday, and I'm there till Sunday.
Are you and Lowney that's going to show me some games?
Yep. We've got a couple that we're bringing down.
Ooh. All right, guys. It's good seeing everyone. Joe, you need
Have fun at Dice Tower.
you need to be my best friend.
Always.
Aldi, are you going to go to Dice Tower?
No, I don't. I don't have the time.
No, I don't. I don't associate with them.
I don't go to any cons for fun. I wish I could, man. I can't get away with it with the home front. You
need to hire some
kind of a
people.
lot of traveling.
All right,
All right, fair enough.
see you guys later.
Bye, Travis.
See you, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to 6 cons a year now. But I know that's not a lot because I mean, you guys are going to all of them, but
I wish I could
I'm a
only go to
programmer
6
now.
cons a year.
I don't make any money at the cons.
Cons.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, exactly. So, initials.
Wish I could. I mean, if it was driving distance, I might go, but it's a flight.
Let's do this. The initials, and then I got stuff I want to talk about as well. So hold on. Let's do this.
Okay.
Anthony, you got your 15 plus
I got my 15 plus a tiebreaker.
Oh wait, it's an Anthony one.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I won't know any of these, but I guess
Yep.
I'll sit here for another half
Anthony
hour.
is not allowed to ring in until after the second clue.
I'm not allowed to give the second clue until I've given the first clue.
Is that the rule?
All right. So if you're watching live, tweet it now. Tweet your guess.
Tweet to me at CBJ Podcast, and I will give the initials in the meantime. Your initials tonight. And he left already. But in honor of Jim's game Bemused, the initials tonight are DG, which could stand for deduction game.
Oh, it's a shame he's not here.
G, DG, D and G, D and G, E and G. Oh, that. Oh, okay, yeah, that one. And yeah, that one.
You're searching.
No, I'm writing. These are all. Is this going to be a all people thing like you normally do?
I can't tell you.
Oh, jeez.
It'll be what it'll be. Que sera, sera.
Oh, yeah, that one. I'm excited. I've got 4 good ones that I think you're gonna pick. So
I think that's all I have is 4.
Okay, are we ready?
And waiting.
Item number 1 originated in Cambridge, England. Has been active since 1966. Lance.
David Gilmour.
David Gilmour is correct.
Yes! Oh, I knew it. That was the first one I wrote down. He's the guitarist for Pink Floyd.
Yeah, heard of him.
Lance is on the board with 1.
Yes.
Item number 2. While they've existed for God knows how long, this actual term did not become popular until the early 80s.
What?
Popularity has grown immensely thanks to the internet.
This is not a person. I'm totally thrown out of whack here.
The weekly Alaboom is 1.
Lance. Discussion group?
Discussion group is correct.
I was thinking of old bulletin board stuffs.
Yep. So discussion group is a group of individuals with similar interests who gather either informally or informally to bring their ideas, solve problems, or give comments.
Did anybody else be on the old bulletin board systems?
Yep, I was.
Were you on Beggar's Banquet by any chance?
I don't even remember.
I had a friend who used to think that he thought the 702 area code was close by the 701 area code where I live. And so he rang up over $900 in long distance phone fees, and because 702 is of course Las Vegas, and he thought that he was calling a local number, and that was a lot of money back in the 80s.
Yeah, I got in some big trouble for phone bills when I was a teen.
Oh, but Beggar's
I think
Banquet.
we've talked about this, but do you guys remember Sprint and MCI and all that stuff?
Oh yeah.
You could use their codes to dial numbers, and I thought I was getting away with something, but no, you're not getting away with that.
remember when every other commercial was how to make collect phone calls? That was just the that was the most important thing. 1-800-collect, and what was the other? It was call ATT was one, wasn't it? And
wasn't that guy from David Letterman show one of a spokesman? Newman, what was that guy's name? Barry Melman. Larry Bud Melman. Wasn't he a spokesman for 1-800-collect?
Yeah, he was. And then I can't think of the stand-up comic. Who's the stand? They used to do Weekend Update. He had the kind of long. He was the only thing he did. Dennis Miller. Dennis Miller.
Miller.
Yeah,
Chow Chow.
Yeah. Yeah, Dennis Miller was for like Call ATT
He's on
or
Monday
something.
Night Football. He did something else, and now he's just
Well-
an a-hole.
Well, he kind of figured out that like in order to stay relevant, he just became kind of weirdly ultra Republican, and because it's such a rarity for a stand-up comic to be that way, so he carved out a niche for himself. If you go back and like watch some of his his stand-up from like the early '90s, it's hilarious.
Yeah, he's good.
It was really good.
He played Gator Growl the year one of the years I was at Florida.
Yeah, track down. I'm sure it's on YouTube, but like Dennis Miller, Black and White is it. You know, it's still fairly timely, and it's pretty funny.
It was a good show.
Yeah. Were we doing something? I
All right,
forgot.
let's play. Let's get through this.
All right. Item number 2.
I am item
So you're number
3.
two?
Item 3. Item 3. Item 3. Because I got the first 2.
Item number 3. That's what I said.
Oh, you said number 2.
Number
I'm
3.
crushing tonight. I'm crushing. Though, of course, now I just doom myself.
Okay, here we go. Originated in Brooklyn, New York.
Oh gosh, I want to ring in, but I need another one.
Openly gay and
Keith.
considered Keith.
David Geffen.
David Geffen is correct. Ranked
well,
as one of the most powerful gay men and women in America.
How do you get that in 2 clues?
Remind me.
It was on my
Remind me.
list.
It's on your
Remind,
list.
remind me about this question. How about what I almost rang in with after I heard the New York comment? Okay, just moving forward.
All right, so Lance with 2, Keith with 1. Here we go. Excuse me. Originated in Flint, Michigan. Graduated from Yale University. After graduating from Yale, landed the role of Jackie Robinson in the short-lived Broadway musical The First.
I want to ring in. Lance. Danny Glover? Ah! Dang it.
While he has had serious roles in movies, Keith.
Donald Glover.
Yeah, try to co-op my answer.
Let me finish the thing here. While he has
We have
had
a chance, guys. We have a chance now.
While he has had serious roles, he's most popularly known for his comedic performances.
Oh, Donald Glover was a good guess for that, Keith, with that clue.
All right, here we go. 2 snaps up if you know who it is.
Oh,
Damn it.
Nope.
I know the reference, but I don't know.
I know who it is now.
And okay, here we go. Another clue. Most commonly referred to using his middle name also.
So when we're done, are you going to answer it, Lance, or am I?
5.
This is how I ruin it. I always guess, and I'm somebody's gonna ring in with my answer for
2,
something. I'm gonna be so
1.
mad.
That's 1 for me.
That's David Allen Greer.
That is David
Yes.
Allen Greer.
God.
Know who that is.
Relevant.
There you go. Okay, here we go. Next one. Originated in 1875. First gained fame in 1915. Has worked with many Hollywood celebrities.
I'm drawing a blank here.
created one of the most controversial movies of all time? Final answer. Final question. Final clue. A movie sharing the same title of that controversial film was made and gained popularity in 2016.
I have no clue.
That's yours, Anthony.
That's mine.
That's yours.
All right, so I'll take it, and I'll give you the giveaway. The movie controversy is about glorifying the Ku Klux Klan.
Well, and I know what movie you're referring to. Like you're talking about Rise of a Nation, but I can't think of the guy's name.
Birth of a Nation. D.W.
Birth
Griffith.
of a Nation. D.W. Griffith. Yeah, I could not remember that guy's name to save my life.
All right.
But
Here we
yeah,
go.
Birth of a Nation. I knew that.
All right, here we go. Originated in 1926 in Glendale, California.
Mm-hmm.
Indirectly responsible for a Robert Ulrich project.
Oh, the Robert Ulrich.
Oh yeah.
Has a video game named after them. Excuse me, I'll rephrase it. Has a computer video game named after them.
Man, I felt good coming out of the gate on this one.
The controversial way he ran his department led to one of the ugliest times of the 90s. Here we go. Last clue. Was at constant battle with his boss, Mayor Tom Bradley, throughout most of his career.
and Anthony with the rare clue-giving win.
Yeah, sounds like
He's trying to make up for that.
I think it's kind of easy to do
that.
Nobody really knows who this is?
No clue.
nobody but you knows this answer.
Oh, it's Daryl Gates.
Oh.
Yeah, I feel so stupid.
Okay, so
Didn't I mean, you could have given us like some stuff like with his police department or something like that.
So,
Yeah,
I mean, the fact I don't think it was the mayor is in charge of the whole city. So
Was chief of police during the
during
riots?
the Rodney Gates riot?
yeah, I did mention that. It was clue 3.
During one of the most horrific times in the 90s,
you
but with
didn't
no
say
frame
Rodney
of reference whatsoever.
I know there was
No frame reference. One of the worst times ever.
OJ.
What was the Robert Ulrich reference?
I have no clue.
No idea.
No, before Vegas, what TV show was Robert Ulrich on?
No idea.
Who is Robert Ulrich?
SWAT. He was on SWAT.
Next time I give the clues, I'm going to say, favorite color was green.
This is what he is responsible for creating SWAT teams.
Oh,
This is what you get for bending the rules last week.
Oh,
Yeah, this is just payback week. That's
yeah.
all.
Let the rest of us suffer for Lance.
Well, if you win again, you get to repeat.
We're
already winning, right? How many do you have? 3?
3. Yeah.
He's got 3. 3,
Mind
2 to 1.
you, he agreed to the stipulation. It wasn't like I said.
Here we go. I'm ready for the next one. Ready for the next one.
Let's go. Let's just get this over with.
Yeah, no doubt.
Invented in the early 1900s in Saskatchewan, Canada. Actually, no, that's not true. It was invented in Canada, but invented in the early 1900s. The creation of the modern version began in 1976. Here we go. Number 3. The playing area used. Excuse me. I'm sorry.
Are you making this up as you go along?
No. I lost my place here. The playing area used shares many similarities with the thing it is based off of.
Oh.
Of course.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Next clue. If Seth Jaffe was here, he'd probably know what it was.
Keith,
Lance
Oh,
Lance.
Joe. Ah.
Keith,
disc golf.
disc golf is correct. Early 1900s. First games registered in Saskatchewan, Canada. All right, here we go. What's the score?
2 to your 3.
Okay, Here we go. This one someone's definitely going to get.
Oh, okay.
Originated in 1914. Received a trademark for their name in the U.S., but was denied in Europe.
Joe. Dolce & Gabbana.
Incorrect.
Good shot.
Crafty people have turned its packaging into necklaces and other things. Often associated with twins.
Ah. Joe.
No,
Joe.
Keith,
Joe.
Keith.
No.
double
Go
mint
on.
gum.
Double mint gum is correct.
You aren't allowed to ring in again, Joe.
I know.
Yes, wouldn't give them the patent on the name Double Mint or the trademark on it.
What a shame.
because it's not original.
Here we go. Originated in Warren, Ohio. Has been a member of no less than 4 popular bands.
Lance.
Keith.
Dave Grohl.
Damn it.
Dave Grohl is correct.
Damn it. Damn it.
I feel like you guys make this game for each other. I don't know. I know none of these people.
Cut out.
Fighter. Right.
For what? Because it cut out on me.
Who's
For
Dave
what?
Grohl?
At least 4 popular bands.
All right. Yeah, that was one of the few that I had.
All right, here we go. Originated in 1917 in South Carolina.
Pete.
Pete.
The only one I got that sold. Dizzy Gillespie.
Dizzy Gillespie is correct.
I was sitting on that, and I was like, I
It's
better
the-
wait. I didn't want to ring in.
I almost rang in when he did the 1870 something, but I'm like, I think that's too old.
Who is that?
Dizzy Gillespie.
He played trumpet. He was a real big musician back in the
He's the guy. If you've ever seen old video of people playing trumpet, it's
big cheeks.
and the horn, the opening part, it always goes up on his trumpets.
And basically, like, and everybody in the world says that, like, playing like that is wrong.
Mm-hmm. But he
Oh,
was
with your cheeks
brilliant.
puffed out? Yeah,
Yeah, with
normally
your cheeks
is.
puffed out, yeah.
Yeah,
But
and-
if
but he
you
plays.
can, you can.
His style is what they call scat singing, playing. So it was like it sounded like the same way that people who sang scat. That was his style. All right,
Dang it. I was sitting on that.
you are on the board.
Yay.
Here we go. Originated in Brooklyn, New York.
Pete.
Pete.
Debbie Gibson.
Debbie Gibson is correct.
Oh,
Pete's got the Googler rocket. Pete got frustrated.
I got nothing to lose. I'm way behind, so I'm just gonna go for it on everyone. I only got 3 names. I've only got 2 left. So the
You're
next
like
2
tied
answers.
now.
The next 2 better be my last 2, because after that I'm done for the night.
1, 2, 3. We have 4 left.
I've only got 2 more answers.
Okay, here we go. Originated in St. Louis, Missouri. Comedian, actor, writer, Lance.
Joe.
Donald Glover. Yeah, take a shot.
Joe, I'm gonna go with Danny Glover.
All right, so let me finish. The comedian, actor, writer, entrepreneur, social critic, and civil rights activist.
More clues?
Oh, okay.
Keep them going, man.
I think anyone's gonna get it.
In 1984, founded Health Enterprises, Inc., a company that distributed weight loss products.
Yeah.
Yep. Nope. They're gonna have to keep going.
Don't know yet.
In 1985, introduced the Slim Safe Bahamian Diet, a powdered diet mix.
Nope. Still not there.
Nope. Don't think we're getting it. I think this is another Anthony one.
Oh, this can't be an Anthony one.
We'll see.
Okay, I thought you guys would have got this one already.
Nope.
All right.
You thought wrong.
You honestly were out of clues?
No. I just lost my spot again. I read on actual paper, which doesn't help.
As he's Googling up a clue right now.
Right. Its filmography includes House
Definitely
Party,
not an IMDb search.
House Party, The Hot Chick, Panther, and One Bright Shining Moment.
What the hell is his name?
I don't know his name either.
Contrary to popular belief, did not play Grady on Sanford and Son. Keith.
Dick Gregory.
Dick Gregory is correct.
All right, so basically either myself or Peter have to run the table to tie Keith. Otherwise, Keith wins.
Yep.
Keith's got 5 right now.
Okay. Let's see what happens.
I only got 2 answers, so it's not going to be me.
How many are left?
3.
Here we go. Originated in 1890 in short form.
Crap, that's not either one of my answers.
Is often referenced in other books, movies, and television shows. Aldi.
Dorian Gray.
Dorian Gray is correct.
Way to go, Aldi.
Oh, Keith wins. Boo.
All day.
All right,
Kingmaker.
we're doing the other ones. All right, here we go. Originated in Detroit, Michigan.
Joe.
Joe.
Dodge Charger.
Charger does not start with G. But that was a good guess.
Oh man, my bad. I wrote it down.
Dodge Charger. Dodge Charger.
Dodge Charger.
That's exactly what I wrote down.
Aldi.
Draymond
Green.
No.
What was the clue? It
Originated in Detroit, Michigan.
Lance.
Danny
Glover.
No.
Well,
Donald Glover.
Who's left to answer? Is it just
Dizzy
me?
Gillespie.
Okay, second clue.
I have no idea who any of these people are.
More associated with Baltimore, Maryland.
Somebody from The Wire?
Yes, somebody from The Wire is correct.
I'm just helping.
Has appeared on television as both contestant and judge on a particular cable channel. No, Buddy Valastro is the other guy.
Oh, Buddy Valastro.
Detective something?
Final clue. Rather than hiring other professional bakers, he hired his artistic friends to help make his cake company the success it is today.
I know it.
We'll ring in.
I already rang in.
Everyone rang in but me, and I don't know it.
Danny Glover.
Keith
didn't ring in. Keith, who is it?
Duff.
Goldman.
Because I don't know his last name.
Yeah, Duff Goldman.
I don't know his last name. So.
All right, here we go. Number 15.
Oh, is that a point for Keith? Or what
No,
is that?
it was not a point for Keith.
No. Okay, here we go. Ready? This one shouldn't get more than 3 clues. Originated in Tampa, Florida. Lance.
Dwight or Doc Gooden?
Dwight Gooden is correct. Okay, here's your tiebreaker.
That was my guess for when you said the New York thing, and then it was like before that I was going to ring in and say Dwight Gooden, and then the second clue was known as being one of the most like successful gay men, and I was like,
Okay, here's your tiebreaker.
Danny Glover.
Donald Glover.
It's Dick Grayson.
Ooh, see, I had Dick.
Oh, that's a good one. I didn't even write that one.
Who said Dick Grayson?
I did.
Pete.
Yeah, there you go. It's Dick Grayson.
No Danny Glover, no Denai Guerrero.
That was my last 2. Was Dwight Gooden and Dick Grayson are the only 2 I have left.
No Don Gibson.
I didn't know enough people, but I had Dollar General and Dolce & Gabbana.
Dollar General's a good one. I like that one.
I had Dollar General on the short list, but I didn't know how, like, if that's everywhere. I always think, like, when it comes to stores that, like, I know I've seen in other states, I got to remember where I see them. Like, if it's just a Northeast kind of thing or not. So that's why I didn't do that one. And Dolce & Gabbana, I don't do the N thing like Pete does.
I thought you might have Doug Gottlieb on there. And I was like,
I had a whole list of people here. I couldn't use them all. I had Doug Gilmore, but I didn't think anyone was going to get him.
I would have got Doug Gilmore.
I had Denny Green, who you would have got.
I don't know how I wrote Dodge Charger right there in the middle of my list and didn't even think about it. Just right there. It's like Dollar General, Dodge Charger, Dave Grohl.
It happens.
Didn't even register.
Anthony, the only reason I got Dick Gregory is you said House Party, and I start going through the entire House Party movie in my head.
Who is Dick Gregory? I guess I have to Google this person.
He did, like, diet stuff.
Yeah, Dick Gregory was like.
I don't even know.
So like
I just know him from a line.
In the 90s, his whole thing, he was on TV all the time. He'd find those people that were like 1,000 pounds that they'd have to like take out of their house in like with a forklift. And he would just go and take on his own dime. Would just go and help them lose weight.
Wow!
But as soon as you see him, you know who he is. He looks like Brady from. But he was an activist and
he looks like a
civil rights activist. Yeah, he went during the time when like Bill Cosby and those guys were starting to get like on TV and stuff. Like it was starting to get big. Like when African American comedians were starting to make it, he decided he was going to be go and be a comedian with them, and he realized he was not doing as well as everybody else. But he's a really smart. I used to be on like the Tonight Show and all those places all the time. But yeah,
I just know it because Pops and House Party said, "Boy, get in there and make me some of that Dick Gregory," and that popped into my head as I was.
Paul Tompkins yelled out "Dick Grabber" in the chat.
Mookie Kid wins, but she didn't send the.
I allowed her to not have to tweet because she doesn't tweet it. She does her tie breaking if we need her.
Well, then she's going to have to email you the whatever and the stuff. So
and the thing.
So I can send her that a couple copies of Jab.
Keith with 5. Yeah, everyone else had Keith with 6 who tweeted. So
how come nobody ever votes for Lance?
They don't like
want to win.
Oh, someone just put dumb and gay in the chat. Thank you.
Well,
thank you.
Yeah, we can go ahead and just get rid of them and be done.
I'll leave them there. Because that would be dumb and gay of us to get rid of them. Hey, if you're still there, asshole, go fuck yourself.
There's somebody new that's not been in here much. They've been in there all evening, but I think they are a youngster based on their conversation earlier.
No, I didn't even know what's anything else. That's all I saw.
Well, now they're blocked, so now they can. So they can listen, but
I was going back and looking at their other messages, and you deleted them.
Sorry, I'm not big on blocking, but that stuff for that, I just it's like we don't need that.
Turn Kabuki into the arbiter of justice in the chat too.
If it was something
everybody
we could,
else does.
I don't think you can do that. She'd have to actually be on to do it.
Now she's mod for a lot of people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she mods for most of the Dice Tower stuff.
I'll have to look. I'll have to look and see how to do that then.
Yeah, she's modded for us before.
All right, Lance, what's the stuff you wanted to talk about?
All right, Forrest is here.
Hey, Forrest.
Okay, Forrest.
Yeah, he waited until it was over.
Clue number 1: played the Joker in Suicide Squad.
Oh, that was I don't know. No idea.
Jared Leto.
Jared Leto.
No, who the hell is that? Wasn't that Jack Nicholson?
Yeah, I think so.
Arnold Palmer? Somebody like that?
Hey, did your boys get squared away with their exhibitor badges?
Oh yeah. I was going to respond to that. Yeah, I got to check one more email, but I'm pretty sure we did.
I didn't get one.
They sent an email. They sent an email out not to get exhibitor badges for people who don't get tickets. I don't know if you guys saw that.
People
What now?
don't get tickets.
Talking about Gen Con?
Yeah, don't get tickets. Mean?
Don't get tickets to
Because
what?
they're going to sell out, they said.
They're going to sell out what? Oh, I get you
Gen
saying.
Con.
Yeah.
Well,
You're talking about Gen Con or no?
Yes.
well, no, we're talking about Gen Con. What, I mean, so like basically people that don't get tickets, like people that won't get.
The email said don't get exhibitor tickets for people who aren't exhibiting. Please.
Oh,
please.
I gotcha.
Did you guys read those? I don't know. I mean,
All right.
I actually got.
Basically, a lot of companies will give like their VIPs tickets, even though they're not exhibiting. They're just coming to attend the show.
Right.
They're trying to refrain from that
Well, yeah,
because every
they can't
company
control
does it.
They can't control the counts.
Does Gen Con get paid either way?
Did you see they're going to sell out?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
don't
How
they
many
get
people will
paid
be
either
there?
way?
Yeah. Well,
Exactly. So who cares?
Well, I'm sure they just.
I was of the
rerun
impression
crowd.
they would have just sold as many tickets as they possibly could.
That's what I thought
Yeah.
too. But no surprise.
Keith, I apologize. Email me or text me your email address associated with your account so I can get you squared away.
We'll do.
And then I think it's $75 for the exhibitor badge, if I remember correctly. So
90.
90? Is it worth 90 bones to you?
Yeah, I'll pay it.
All right.
Yes. Do you want me to message Daniel? But that is all. We're all good. We're squared away.
Yeah, email him because he's the con guy for us. So
Got it.
yeah. No, so it took forever, but I finally got like our hotel room squared away with all of our groups. We had I found some guy who, once again, you just like It's really nice. I just put it straight out on the Facebook, and I was like looking for anybody who has a room that they aren't going to use, and like found some guy who was just like who'd reserved a room back in January and found out a month ago he wasn't going to use it, so transferred it to me. So now all of TMG has a place to stay, which is nice.
8 to a bed.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
great.
Well, it's just
I'm actually looking for a couple more people. I've got rooms for, but I haven't figured out who I want to bring yet.
Oh yeah, weird.
Well, I'm not sure if I want to go into the realm of people I don't know or find, because I mean everybody I know is going, so it's probably going to be people I don't know.
Yeah, I got
again. We got I think 11 people in a room.
Yeah, that's crazy.
11?
How many people?
It's a suite
The
though.
ones I'm giving
There's
are
an extra room.
one person.
That's like
one or
the,
two, maybe.
that's like the monkey room.
Oh my God.
Like
You ever heard of the monkey room?
Nope.
No.
So back before Plaid Hat became Plaid Hat, Colby and them used to run the Heroescape stuff there, and they literally would have like 12 people staying in the room. One of the guys who still goes, and they still do a monkey room, but they don't stay in it. The Plaid Hat guys brings an actual pinball machine.
oh yeah, I've been there. I've been there for that.
That's the monkey room.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they just have like 12 people sleeping in that room.
No, I went there, and that was like, I remember it was like one of those things where I ran into he's like the guy I see every con. Usually I'm having a dinner with him. Chris Hanrahan. Yeah, there you go, Chris Hanrahan. I run into him, and then like we always have a good conversation. We always get a lunch or a dinner. But he was friends with the Monkey Room people,
Yes.
and he was like, "Oh, hey, let's go check out this thing." So I walked like to fuck all who knows where, and we went to like some big giant suite at the top of this hotel, and like, yeah, seriously, it isn't like a true pinball machine. It's like it's a pinball simulator machine, so it still vibrates and stuff, but it's basically like two big flat screen TVs that are on a stand.
Oh no, that was the year you went. He brings an actual pinball machine most years.
Oh really?
Because
Okay.
he collects them and like services them and rebuilds them and all that other stuff. Neo Skywalker.
Yeah, so
That's his
I
real
went
name.
there, and that was I ended up sitting there talking to a guy who like it, and he was nice enough, I guess. He got me a beer, but he was wearing like a Sons of Anarchy motorcycle jacket, and like talking about how like people saw it and thought he was tough in it. And I was like, no, they don't.
Wait, can we rewind, please?
If
Is
you-
there actually
wait.
someone named Neo Skywalker?
That's what everyone knows him as Neo Skywalker. I don't know if that's his real name or not now, but
Name is amazing.
wait, Lance, if you describe that guy to me, I probably know who it is.
Well, he was shorter.
Blonde and glasses, heavy set.
He was heavy set, and I don't remember if he was blonde or not, but he had glasses, and
All right, I know who that is.
and he was just like, and it was one of those people too where
He's
you
a
end up
cop.
no way. This guy was like 18 years old. So when I met him, so maybe he's a cop now.
Oh, wait. How long ago was this?
This would have been the first Gen Con I ever went to, so like 5 or 6 years ago.
And he was wearing a Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah, he had
You
like
sure he wasn't wearing a Warriors vest?
no, it had Sons of Anarchy on the back, like straight. He talked about how like he bought it directly from the AMC store. And he said, like, wherever he went, and like, he was like, I was like, do you have a motorcycle? He's like, no. But whenever I go to like gas stations and stuff, people avoid me because they think
Was
I'm
it
a biker
Forrest?
now. I have no idea.
Oh,
who it
yeah.
was.
I'm a big bicycle jack kind of
Well,
guy.
you said he looked like he was 18 and had glasses. So
No, I mean, it was like that when you, like I said, he was a nice enough guy. Like I said, he got me a beer, but he's one of those people that when you start talking to him, you realize that it's one of those people that like, they haven't told, I haven't told you my life story. Here, you have a couple of hours, right? And I was just like, and then I remember I went over to Chris. I was like, I'm going to go. And he's like, oh, well, I was going to hang out for all. Yeah, you can. Goodbye. I just like, yeah, I'm going to leave. But it definitely was one of those things too, where it's like when you go and you show up and you're like the outsider of that Monkey Room group, and you're just like, well, this is kind of lame. So Well, it's like who's his face? Nino, not the Nino, but like the guy who designed that. I can't remember the game. And then shoot, he had a big Kickstarter. I did a video for him. I can't think of his name. He's one of like the nicest guys you'll ever meet in your life, and he's super cool. And he's a heart surgeon. Like that's like what his real life job is. But he designed a giant board game. And he's got a bunch of doctor friends that are big gamers, and they get the penthouse suite on like the top of one of like the places that's right next to it. I forget. And they have a big party, and like he's like, yeah, party's tonight at 9:00. You show up, and it's like it's free booze, free food, and yeah, it's just a bunch of freaking millionaire doctors in this big penthouse suite, and like you can like it has its own like balcony, so you can walk out and you're like the very top floor of the hotel, and like you can walk around the whole hotel, and it's VIP living. And I remember I was like, oh cool, and like my wife and I went, and then Michael was like, what are you doing tonight? I was like, I got invited to this party, and he's like, oh, can I come with? And I was like, yeah, sure. And Michael Mendez looked so out of place. The guy's like, oh hey, can I get you something to drink? And he's just like, oh yeah, do you have any like soda or juice? You know, like everybody's like into their like 30th whiskey already.
Pink lemonade.
Yeah, no, and I mean he always has bottles of Viking blood alcohol, and like, you know, because it's this, you can Google it. It's like this really really alcoholic drink, and like, you know, he gave me a bottle once. Yeah, but yeah, that's like, I look forward to that party, and that's the only time I go to a party that I actually like don't feel out of place, when there's a bunch of weird people. And that was the one where there was this guy that was like 5 feet tall if he was an inch, this skinny guy, and he was wearing just a bathrobe, and nobody else was saying anything that this guy was walking around. And
I actually met him.
Yeah, and he would just walk over and he'd stand behind people and pretend that he was like leaning into them, like he was trying to like insert something into their rear end. And like, and he'd look at me and he'd have this weird creepy smile on his face. I was just like, and then when finally somebody else said something to him and he responded, I was like, oh, thank God, I'm not going insane.
He went down to the hotel. We were at the Hyatt, and that guy walked through the hotel. We were eating dinner, and he walks past us, and he started moving slowly, and we're all just kind of like, what's this guy doing? He walked up to the bar. He had a conversation with the bartender, and we're all just kind of looking back, and I'm like, what's with this guy wearing the robe? And then he walks back by, and on his way back by, he leans into me as I'm eating and says, don't eat the fish, and then kept on walking. And we all just like were frozen, like, what the hell was that? What just happened to me? That dude was crazy.
Yeah, no, he was very high. So just like, so yeah. There's
Yeah, I have one more question, then I'm gonna head out.
Yeah, me too.
What'd you guys get on the Steam sale?
I bought Depth and Shark Attack #2. And I also picked up some expansion stuff or some extra. I got like the entire Moo series. I got 2, 3, and the newest one, and I think that's it so far.
Moo 3 is horrible. Whatever money you spend on
that.
It was
do a new one.
Yeah, they did, and I have not played it yet. I've actually just started the introductory tutorial mission, but
get Terraria or no Terrestria. Get Terrestria.
I mean, everyone's talking about that.
No, I'm sorry,
Stellaris. Everyone's talking about that. What's the big deal about it?
It's what Moo 3 should have been.
Endless Space 2 is pretty good too. If you want one of those kind of.
Yeah, but that isn't on sale. Yeah, it's full price.
On sale.
If you like rogue-like games, there's a game that's about like space combat, like space flying combat.
Oh yeah,
Everspace, or it's like Everspace, something like that. That's pretty cool because like you fly and like you try to make it as far as you can before you get blown up, and you will die. There's like nothing you can do. But then basically the stuff you earn allows you to start with a better start, and then you get Everspace. Then you get to go even further, and it's really good. I mean, it's kind of fun. Like you just gotta save up enough money to. And the thing is that whatever credits you earn for that point, like you have to spend them because you don't get to keep the money. So you just spend it all and then start up again and try it again.
Dead Cells is like that, but it's a fantasy dungeon-y thing. I mean, it's a roguelike or whatever.
And for a really cheap one, oh, see you, Joe.
Night, Joe.
For like $2, go or $2.50 get Reigns, REIGNS. It's literally swipe left, swipe right, choose your own adventure. Yeah. You're a king, and like you get to choose what you do. Like they'll say, "Oh, the peasants are angry because there's no food. Should we, send the soldiers to beat the hell out of them, or should we pay money to?" And so you have to basically keep these 4 bars of your church, your military, your money, and I can't remember the 4th one. You got to keep all of those bars.
And you can't let them go to the top because then they'll overthrow you. They'll overthrow you, or the
church or the military will
people revolt and cut your head off. It's better on a phone because it's it's an iPhone game, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's like $2.50.
There's all these subplots in it too.
Oh yeah,
how much you played, but
depending upon any the devil shows up and and tries to fool you. There's a dungeon you got to go try to figure out how to get through. Yeah. There's all kinds of things going on in it, and it's and when when your king dies, then your next king just takes over and goes from that point forward. And the big thing is that you want to die of old age. You don't want to have somebody come in and chop your head off or anything like that. So yeah, $2.50. You'll get $2.50 fun out of it.
The Sexy Brutal is out on sale too.
The what?
Those are the Sexy Brutal or the Sexy Brutal.
Sexy Brutal. I'm not familiar.
It's like a time travel game where it's like time stories. The video game.
Oh, the one with the weird art, right?
It's really cool art. It's very weird. It's all you're at this masquerade, and there's this faction of people trying to kill another faction of people, and you're trying to keep everybody from not dying. So you have to set up all these chain reactions to save everybody. Pretty cool.
Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes is on sale today.
What was that? What was the game that you said that was fantasy based or whatever that you said
Dead
was
Cells. Dead Cells.
Dead Cells or Cells?
Cells, like CELLS. CELLS.
Like skin cells that are dead.
Yeah, it's really great. It's in early access, but it's pretty fun even. It's
I picked up Firewatch.
It's only slightly on sale, 15%. But it's pretty good. And they're still working on it. I got a bunch. I got too many things. I'm never gonna play it all.
What was with Dead Cells? Is it like
It's a roguelike hack and slash.
Do I need a controller though for it to be any good?
You don't have a controller?
No.
You have an Xbox?
No.
No. Okay.
Who has an Xbox?
You should get an Xbox controller for your PC. It'll change it.
They're really good.
I've heard the actual Steam controller is really awesome.
I didn't like the Steam controller at all.
I don't like the Xbox controller. I hate the way it feels in my hand.
See, I felt the same way about the Steam controller and took it back and just bought an extra Xbox controller.
Have any of you guys heard of Dead Secret? I picked that up. It's a psychological horror indie adventure. Looked pretty good.
The what?
Dead Secret. Do you like adventure games?
Hold on a second. I got to log into my Steam account here, and then I can just put these things in my wish list and look for them later.
Well, they're all on sale now. I also got Shelter too. Have you guys played Shelter?
No.
Where you're playing as a wolf trying to survive. Yeah.
Day of the Tentacle remastered.
Oh, and Sniper Elite 4, which is awesome, Keith. I think you were telling me about it.
Yeah, Sniper Elite
so
4
good.
is amazing.
Yeah, it really is.
It is awesome. I was hooked on that game.
It's really good.
Yeah, it's pretty neat, and it's got a lot of little cool
unlockables
in it, right? The unlockables, there's neat things for doing different stuff, so it's pretty sweet. I may have to buy Day of the Tentacle remastered.
I love Day of the Tentacle.
I like Maniac Mansion more.
Well, the Maniac Mansion is inside Day of the Tentacle.
Yeah, you can unlock it. It's in one.
It's in Weird Ed's room. You can play the computer in his room and play the original.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not weird as
So that 911 operator. I don't know if that. It looked pretty good, but I haven't tried it yet.
Hold on a second here. I gotta look at this stuff.
Double Fine bundle. There's a lot of stuff in that.
There was a really good bundle about turn-based strategy games that were it was 5 games for like $30.
Horrible.
I feel like I'd want to like turn-based strategy games, but then I just get sloppy and lazy and die. You know, like XCOM 2 kind of stuff, where I just get annoyed with it. That I'm just like, it's so slow-paced, and I finally just like, fuck it, run out there and just, I get sloppy and lazy.
I really enjoyed. I enjoyed like all those Heroes and Might and Magic games. I used to love those.
Those are good. I think the newest one is really good.
Yeah, I've got that. I've got the newest Might and Magic. It's like 7, I think, or something. 6 or 7.
And the thing is that did you guys ever play the original Might and Magic?
I played the 3rd one is when I started.
I played Might and Magic 3 was my first one.
The adventure game?
Yeah.
The RPG, if you want to call it that.
The RPG, yes.
Yeah, I played the crap out of that.
So so 7 is good? 7?
Yeah.
Trial by Fire?
No, they put it back together. I think it was bad. Like the last one was bad, and then this one is good.
Well, I'm looking at a thing, and what about the I see the battle map looks cool, but I mean, as far as moving around the world, is that cool too? I mean,
I'm looking at it. Trial by Fire, right? Is that the one you're looking at?
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same old thing, right?
Yeah,
the thing that I liked about it was it was really simple to just oh, okay, go over here and then control this, so then you'll get that you'll get that thing, or you'll get that you'll get that you'll I can't even think, I can't talk. You go to that spot and then you
claim the resources, right?
You claim the resource. Then okay, now I'm getting. But I mean, the nice thing about the old ones were that it was really easily handled. It was the pathing was good. What you needed to upgrade your town so you could get the next level of whatever creature you wanted was good. That whole thing. It was really simple and straightforward. And it says mostly the thing is for Heroes Might and Magic 7, it's overall mixed reviews and mostly negative over the last
I think it's I don't know why those reviews are like that. I mean, you can do I think you can do returns now within 48 hours or something like that for any reason, one time a month. I don't know if that's enacted yet, but they were talking about it. Oh, let me see. Hold on. Let me make sure I'm talking about the right one. There's another kind of Might and Magic ripoff, Heroes of Might and Magic ripoff called. It's got a different name, different company.
Well, it's here. This game sucks, just as Ubisoft sucks. Full of bugs, and the game doesn't even start with proper graphic cards. So if you're using a laptop with you're going to get effed. Support is shit. They only tell you what they already know.
Okay, well, maybe that's not the one I'm thinking of. Hold on. I'll get you the list. 1 second. No, here's Might and Magic 5. Not 6.
That's
only
$7.
$5. It's only $5.
So Heroes of Might and Magic 5. Well, no, Heroes of Might and Magic 5 is $3.39 on mine.
Yeah. Under $5.
It's good?
Yep. Also, King's Bounty. That's the other game I was trying to remember. And that's under $5. It's under $5 as well.
King's Bounty?
Yep.
I'll check that one out too. Thanks a lot for spending my money, by the way.
Well, that's $5, right?
How do you guys have all this time to play all these things?
You don't.
No, I don't have time.
I just load up my Steam account and I let it sit until winter time when things slow down.
I'm a game sampler. I don't finish games. Very rarely.
Wait a minute. What's the King's Bounty base game? All I see is this
Get the Platinum Edition.
King's Bounty Platinum Edition.
Yep.
Because what King's Bounty Legend, King's Bounty Crossworlds,
No,
King's Bounty
King's
Armor.
Bounty Platinum Edition. It'll comes with 3 expansions, or 2 expansions. They're all standalone, right? So they're all
What the hell?
$5.
You're $5. I don't have $86 million to my name like you. I can't just be throwing $5 left and right here.
Okay.
you don't even deny it anymore.
Cut out your Starbucks once a day or whatever.
Yeah, you just like
Drink Starbucks.
No, I don't drink coffee. It's the devil. All right, buddy. I'm gonna just trust you on this one. King's Bounty.
Trust me.
What was it? Like what game did I just recently play that was good? Crap. I can't even remember the name.
Stardew Valley is really good too. If you like those sim.
Stardew Valley is very good. I played it like crazy on my PlayStation. That was a fantastically good game.
So you mentioned Steam, and now Keith is playing World of Guns.
All right, so
I am. This is fascinating.
So Sexy Brutal, you said. Dead Cells, you said was good. I couldn't pull the trigger on Total War Warhammer. Somebody said that was good, but it's just not. And I couldn't pull the trigger on Planet Coaster either, because it just, it still wasn't cheap, But Heroes of Might and Magic 5 was good, you said, huh?
My entire system crashed.
Good.
Yep. Anyway, I gotta go now, but I wanted to say goodbye.
Yeah, I'm out too.
Where do you gotta go? What do you gotta do?
Just gotta get ready for Dice Tower.
Jerks. All right. Well, good night. I'll talk to Keith and Anthony then.
See you guys later.
Talk to Keith and Anthony.
Nice.
Good night.
Just ignore Forrest.
And Forrest. Don't put
As I said, I'll talk to Keith and Anthony.
Wish I was going to Dice Tower, guys, but unfortunately, gotta cut it somewhere.
You just don't want to help out the competition. That's all.
We're not.
And he's not denying. That's the best part. He's just kind of like,
It's the best con ever, from what I hear. So self-termed. Anyway, bye.
Well,
Good night, guys.
Good night, Pete.
Good night, Peter.
Good night, Pete.
So, Lance, remember what I texted you about before about that Kickstarter
thing with the stuff? Yeah, the guy.
No, the Kickstarter thing.
Oh, the top secret thing.
Yeah, I've been sitting here since then. Like, I don't even know if I want to even spend the $10 for the PDFs.
Yeah, I was looking at it. I'm not excited. I played Top Secret back when it first came out. And I remember the game being so rules intensive. Like, combats took forever because you rolled for each bullet that you shot.
Yeah, I love that game.
I mean, it was fun. Just because it was a cool way to play James Bond, without playing James Bond, because James Bond was a game system too.
Yeah, that was horrible.
That was not good.
I have it. It's right over there.
But no, I remember Top Secret. I remember just the whole process of oh, okay, so I'm gonna shoot this. I'm gonna shoot my gun. All right, now roll against my gun skill on D percentile. Now, how much did you make it by? Well, I made it by 37. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and look at this chart where you made it by 37. Now the other player needs to go ahead and it was just are you kidding me? And remember the hand-to-hand combat system?
Yes.
How messed up that was. How you had to choose your blocks and your strikes for each thing, and depending upon your ability, so I know karate, so I know all these things. So basically, I made it tougher to block it because you knew more attacks. And then if the other person was just a brawler, they had 6 attacks, and then you had to choose, I'm going to duck, or I'm going to jump, or I'm going to, and then depending upon where you corroborated the move, on the little table. I mean, it was a cool idea for a game, but man, it was just not. It was not a good way to handle the most important part of any role-playing game, combat. It did not have a good way to resolve that at all.
Right, but the thing was, in well done adventures, there wasn't a ton of combat.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Like you had all the other cool stuff you could do, and then okay, I got to take the guard out. Oh, okay, I got a henchman over here I got to get rid of, kind of thing. It wasn't never like, I go into a room. Oh, I got to fight. Oh, I go into a room. Oh, I have to fight. Oh, I go in the next room. I got to fight. There were ways to get around the fighting. So, I mean, and when it happened, yeah, it kind of like slowed things down. If, the guy we had who used to GMR games when we played it was really good at, just controlling the whole combat thing. Basically, everything was, and we all knew the rules and what hit and whatnot, but it was more like, okay, good, now roll. Okay, good. All right, you do this. You did this.
Yeah.
Okay, this. All right, good, we're done. So it wasn't like we didn't like, he knew all the charts, like he was like a savant as far as the charts went. So it was like, all right, fine, cool. Just tell me, all right, I'm gonna swing, I'm gonna, do a combination and then I'm gonna block. All right, good, roll.
Well, or he was just really good at fudging it, and just be able to like just roll with it. I was talking to a guy. I was talking to the Swords and Wizardry guys like the other day, and we were talking about how one of the things that has like ruined, and I say this, ruined. Has ruined D&D is the idea that like everything is a travel to the room with the combat. Okay, now everybody rest, and then now let's travel to the next room with the combat. Okay, now everybody rest, and then it's repeat and repeat and repeat. And it's and so like the ways to get past that and ways to make it so people can actually like my D&D campaign is the same thing. I mean, it's just like there's the one wizard that has the guy who runs his character. He ends up like using a lot of his blood. He's still like he's like a level 12 wizard, and they've been going for a long time. But he still will like use his big spells. He'll use like chain lightning on a bunch of ogres when like he could just not do anything and let the party melee people just mop them up. But he'd rather rush forward, fly forward, blast them all with the chain lightning, and then like, oh well, and then they've been like they get to like the third or fourth room in whatever dungeon they're exploring, and it's just like, oh, I'm out of spells, we're gonna have to rest, and the rest of the party is just like, why did you use up all your 10 dice fireballs on like minions, basically? Yeah. It's a tough thing. You gotta like get people to buy into that. I don't know. It's resource management, but I don't know. It's like I have in a weird way I have more fun playing with my wife and my daughter and my son when we play D&D because I just let them do whatever they want to do.
But they're not trying to game it.
No, they aren't. So it's just like, so my daughter has a wizard, and she's like, oh well, you have a powerful spell called web, and you can use, but you can only use that once a day. But you can use magic missiles many times as you want. That's fine. I'm gonna shoot that guy with a magic missile. Fine. Roll d6. Okay, it did 3 points of damage. And it's that way. It's quick and fast and easy, and they have fun. But with my normal gaming group, I had to be like meticulous and try to figure out exactly what they're gonna do. But like I said, my nearly 3-year-long campaign is rolling to an end. If it wasn't for like screwed up summer with everybody gone all the weekend, we'd be done. The campaign would be over. We'll probably finish up in August sometime now because
kill them all.
No, I mean, none of them watch this. So I mean, I plan on doing like a video and just talking about how the whole world started. But I had this idea in the back of my head for like I this is giving what they don't watch this stuff, so I'm not.
It'll be like the end of Newhart, and they're just going to wake up in bed with
no, a snow globe in an autistic kid's head.
Yeah, no, I actually played in a Shadowrun campaign where at the very end we all we went through this whole process where there was the game master Jason, he did a really good job Basically, we found out that like because of the if you play Shadowrun, it's a mix between cyberpunk and magic and things like that, and so they there was like this cabal of evil wizards that basically, or mages or whatever you want to call them, that were trying to basically bring Cthulhu-like creatures into the world. And so we had this big, large final battle that we and we failed actually. But then we like all of a sudden we like he actually had planned. We all like kind of woke up. And we were in these like virtual reality tanks and things like that. So like we were actually like the entire campaign was based on that, which it seemed like a cop out, but whatever. It was what it was, and we moved forward. But no, nothing like that. So I came up with this idea. Like I was watching like a Penn and Teller special. And they were talking about they weren't doing like a classic, oh, this is how magic is done. They weren't like revealing certain tricks, but they were talking about magician techniques and how like sleight of hand is done and things like that. And then they talked, and that was like it was just kind of cool seeing people that were like masters of sleight of hand. And they were actually like, okay, then they were actually like showing it and they would slow it down and show. And that was cool. But the stuff that I thought was cool was they talked about like the mentalist part, like the way that they would, mentally be able to like influence like tricks on people in the crowd, on people and things like that. And the thing that I really, really liked was they were talking about the magician's illusion of choice and how like they make it feel like the audience or the person, oh, come on up here, I want you to be my assistant, and they make the assistant the random person from the crowd who isn't a plant. They get them to believe that they're actually making choices, but they really aren't. Correct. And the most common one is it's just like, okay, I need they know exactly what card they want to be picked, but they split the two decks and they say go ahead and pick a deck, and if they pick and they want to pick deck 1, but if they pick deck 2, they say, okay, let's take deck 2 and we'll put that away. We won't worry about that. We'll just use this deck here. But if they pick deck 1, they're like, okay, you've picked the deck we'll use. And so, again, that's like the really basic illusion of choice. So
yeah, it's your basic cards force, right?
Yeah. And so like it was just kind of cool to see that. And I was sitting there, I was watching that, and all of a sudden like this idea just bing went off in my head. And I started writing out, and I started thinking of all these different possibilities of things that could happen. And so the whole process was I'd wanted to do like the Keep in the Borderlands is like one of my favorite, and it's a lot of people's, but it's one of my favorite D&D modules. Basically because the idea is that for whatever reason your adventurers, your people are in this like locale out in the middle of frickin' nowhere that's on the very edge of what is controlled by the Baron or the Duke or the King or whatever, and everything beyond that is like basically the wild. Like nobody goes out there. If you head out, you're gonna get killed. It's just it's too dangerous.
Stay on the road.
Yeah, stay on the road and don't go too far. It's like if you head out, and so keeping the Borderlands, and then of course people hear about the caves of chaos, and then so that you go and investigate them. So I always loved that idea, and so I said, what if I took a world and I made an entire world, like an entire place where everybody was from, but on like the edge of that kingdom, like where the you can see way off in the distance, you can see there's another continent way, way far away. And you can sail there, but nobody's been on that continent for hundreds of years. And I said, well, how am I gonna, and so I came up with this idea that basically these two countries were allies. Something happened. And they went to war, and one lost. And when that one lost, basically that country was abandoned, was almost like 100% abandoned. And because the one country was nearly ruthless. It was just absolutely ruthless in its almost genocide acts because like the ruler of that country was vindictive. Something horrible happened. Basically, he believed that country was responsible for like the death of his sons, and so when they left, basically it became overgrown, and it was just like, and so the whole idea is that then eventually that king died, and a more benevolent son of his, like the only son that lived, when he came of age, he offered the fact if anybody could go to that land and investigate it and reclaim it, then he was offering like nobility and titles and things like that, and that was the whole reason. So they left and they went there, and they just slowly started taking back. And it was the best thing about it was that I was able to create like anything I wanted. I was like, okay, well, now like we're going to, it's like there's a knoll village. Okay, fine. Now, there's a hobgoblin army. Okay, we can do that. And slowly but surely, like I had these ideas for these people that were like in power, that had come to power while they're gone, and like they've run into those. And then they found a city that was trapped in some weird like magical stasis that they were able to save, and then that city became their city, and they became like they became lords of that city, and they've gone on and on. But underlying this whole thing, there's been this plot that's been going on, and there's been times when they've come close to revealing and figuring out what's going on, because there is like there's like the king's uncle is living on that, and he's like ostensibly he's the baron of that country, and they report to him, and there was this whole like weird plot where they thought that it was possible that the king was trying to have him killed, and they couldn't really figure out what was going on. And I've laid all these like groundworks and all these ideas, and the big thing is that there's a lot of like, one of the rules that my players always have is don't trust any of my NPCs. Like they always feel like they're always going to turn on them. But I have played the long con with so many of these NPCs. Like they've been like nothing but helpful like the entire time. Oh, you need access to my spell books? Yeah, here, go ahead. You need money? Yeah, here, go ahead. They've helped them out every single step of the way, and they aren't like flat out against the PCs, but there's going to be this huge reveal here in a couple of months that basically the last survivors of that continent, like, because they're like the people that they're dealing with on a regular basis are the last like survivors of the royal family of that continent, and they want revenge on the king, and then they want to kill the last son and all those things. And pretty soon the party's going to have to decide, they're going to have to pick a side. They're going to have to pick, do we finally like decide, are we going to work against like our ostensibly the king, or are we going to like side against these people that have helped us like every step of the way and done everything they possibly can to help us and brought us to power and brought us this thing. And I'm excited to see which side they're going to pick. And because they're right there, they've almost figured it out. And like there was one time where if they'd just basically gone home, like if they'd gone home, because I track where each NPC is and how long they're going to be there. And if they'd gone home, they would have been able to save this one guy who knew everything, but they had assassins kill him because they didn't get home in time. And there's all kinds of weird things. They've allied themselves with a green dragon whose son, also a green dragon, obviously, lives in their city as a protector. Because there was a random encounter of them running into a young green dragon, and when they were like 3rd level, like we just rolled randomly, and so they fought it off, and so then they found the green dragon again, and then the green dragon asked for asylum because there's a red dragon that lives on that country that like wanted to kill him, and so then they took him in, and so they have a green dragon living in their town, and then his mom showed up, and then so they allied themselves with her. It's just, I don't know, it's been one of the more satisfying campaigns I've ever run, and I'm really excited to see. And I'm not excited. I mean, I'm happy that it's going to end because I don't want to have to think about what I have to do for the group anymore. But I'm kind of sad that my story is finally coming to a close. I mean, the funniest thing is, okay, so there's this person known as the Mad Mage. Everybody knows that he's got a tower. It was still there when they showed up, and there's weird lights that come off the tower, but nobody goes near it because he's basically surrounded with golems, like all these crazy golems that he's created. He's every once in a while just sent a golem to attack the town. And he's just like, and then like he like scrawls like messages and runes on it, like "Welcome to the neighborhood, ha ha ha, the Mad Mage," you know. And it's just like, but he's so powerful, nobody goes, they don't go and mess with him. They ostensibly they sent some NPCs there once, and then basically he sent back a giant iron golem with their dead bodies like attached to it and dragging it into the town, you know. So it was just, so now they just don't go and mess with them at all. Well, you know, so they've always wondered who the Mad Mage is, but like the Mad Mage is like a mage they know and they talk to all the time, who helps them all the time, and so, but they don't realize it, you know. So that's like a huge reveal that's coming up. I don't know. It's just I'm looking forward to the whole thing, and I think the big thing is that be like one of the very few people that's actually around that was actually involved in the Civil War that happened was the person who actually was ordered to put the original king to death, you know, but he's like a really, really helpful guy to the party that they all really, really like, but obviously they're going to want that guy to die, and I think that's going to be the linchpin where they're going to say, well, we can't do that, and I don't know. I'm excited to see which side they pick. So anyway, that's my long. It's a very abbreviated story of 3 years.
Very cool.
Yeah, I know. I'm very excited to see the end, but I'm looking forward to just rolling up a character and playing a character and not having to worry about making another map and making another, like, not tracking where NPCs are on a spreadsheet anymore, and I'm looking forward to that. One of the best things is, okay, so I apologize. So basically, okay, there's this Baron Vladimir, and he's very stern, but he expects a lot out of them, but he's very fair with them, and he's very good to them. But he has a wife who's very young and beautiful, and Lady Sarah is her name, and Jason, who always plays a weird character, he's playing a gnome bishop. A bishop is a class we've made up, very much like the old wizardry bishop, where you have both clerical and wizard spells. But anyway, so he has a gnome bishop who's in love with her, and you know, when like they were worried about her safety, like they had her brought to like their keep. You know, which, you know, and he was like her personal bodyguard. You know, so he's always like just like been so doting on her, and I've played her off as a complete idiot the entire time, and only one person in the party has ever said anything like, maybe she isn't as dumb as we think, you know. And that, like, Arrow plays the rogue, but she isn't. She's actually the daughter of the king that was executed all those years ago, and the Mad Mage is keeping her young with magic, and she's actually like the mastermind behind the whole thing. And it's like, so that's going to be a huge thing for Jason, who's run this guy who's like totally in love with her. And she even orchestrated the assassination attempt on herself that she knew that she'd survive because she had enough things to do. And then had it made it look like the king tried to have her killed. And so, yeah, it's just, I've had a lot of fun with it. But the thing is that every single time, like when I've wanted because I want the story to go in a certain direction, I want it to happen. And I've allowed deviations to a certain point for a lot of my, for a lot of things they wanted, but I do know, like, there's a way it goes. And that's where that magician's illusion of choice comes in, where it's like, okay, so like if they decide, well, we don't trust this person, that's fine. I had another NPC in the wings that I could use that would direct them down the path that I wanted to direct them anyway. So I've been using that illusion of choice a lot, you know, because I personally believe the PCs really felt they were in a sandbox when in actuality they were in like a linear a plot line, which I think is I'm usually not super proud of my campaigns, but I've been pretty proud of this one. So, there you go.
Maybe someday I'll get to play in one of them.
Well, man, I have Dan Patrice and Chris Kirkman both desperately want to play in a D&D campaign that I run, and it's one of those things that we talk about doing all the time. And I said, I mentioned you. I said I know Anthony would play. I said the biggest thing is that we all have to just decide. All right, get out your Google Calendar, and we're going to play. I don't care if anybody listens. We're just going to play online, and it's going to be whatever, like the third Thursday of every month. And it's just, and we're going to set aside 3 hours at night, and we're going to play, and we're going to do it. And that's the way it's going to be. And because that's the biggest thing that I found with, if you ever try to get a campaign or anything running, whether it's in person or if it's like online or whatever, you have to have like a schedule. You have to have like a rigid schedule that you're all going to abide by, and that you're all going to stick to, and so you can count on people to show up. And like I said, for my personal gaming, it's like, as long as it is in the summer where there's tons of stuff going on, I can almost always count on at least 3 people showing up every other Saturday at my house to play D&D. So it's I read a fantastic short story, a fantasy short story. I was at a garage sale, and like they had all these books and everything for sale, and I bought this like little digest of like 20 fantasy short stories, and I read it. Very pulpy, but there was a short story in there that was very, very good about like a really good idea for a campaign. And so I wrote down about a page and a half of notes of things that I could do with it. And and I was like, well, this one would work. I think this one would work for, like, if I finally did an online thing. I was like, this one could possibly, work for that. So so maybe if the 4 of us can come up with a schedule. And I do know that what Christopher Vidal mentioned being interested as well. So, but now he's all married and stuff, so he probably doesn't have much time.
Damn wives.
Yeah. No, but it's just like, and the cool thing about playing online is like, yeah, you can go and get fantasy grounds and you can get all that stuff and you can have that rolling. But, I am a big believer in theater of the mind. There are a few of my players. Oh, this cat, just leave me alone. There's a few of my players that like desperately miss having the grid, to maneuver on. But we have played the entire thing without personal initiatives, which I hate. I hate that whole thing and keeping track of initiative. Just roll a d6. Oh, you won? Okay, your entire party goes first. Go, because it makes combat quick. And when you aren't like worrying about where you're moving your little figure on your little 5-foot squares and everything like that. Oh, I take a 5-foot step and I do an all-out attack or whatever. No, just when you remove that grid, then people can actually like think outside the box for their combats and things like that. And so they're actually not just saying, okay, I'm making an attack. They're like, oh, do you think I could run around the back of the bar and jump up on a bar stool and like leap on top of that guy? Yeah, sure, fine, go roll. -2 from your chance to hit and see what happens.
Yeah, well, like when we played, we were going for a while. I recall asking you a few times, like, how far away am I from them? Like, I don't care about the grids. Like, I know that, okay, if I'm this far away and this is my movement, I can get there. And I can go run up with my sword rather than sitting back with my bow. I don't need to sit. I hated that, the whole thing with like the 3.5 and everyone was sitting there with the friggin' grids and I'm in this position. I'm facing this direction.
Yeah.
Like,
at a certain point, I understood it. I mean, and I've talked about this many times, but I don't take anything away from 3.0 or 3.5 because it really did revitalize D&D. I mean, it brought it back from the brink, which I appreciate about it a great deal. But it made people really worried about, like, just all this little grid combat. And you know what, if that's your thing and you love running it like that, then you have fun. But for me, that's just, I just don't have fun with that. I don't have fun with like, okay, I can move five squares and then I can, do this. And, that just drove me crazy. And then it was also, people would like, it was always like the like, what kind of attack can I do and how far can it go? And who's backing up?
Seth.
Hey, bud.
Hey, what's up?
Not much. How are you doing?
All right. Are we still live?
Oh yeah.
Looks like it.
Oh, you are back.
I don't know. It's getting kind of late. I thought you might be bailing.
Were you just backing up? Are you in a moving van or what's going on?
No, I'm in my car and my seatbelt wasn't on, and it gave me the beep beep beep.
Yeah,
So,
you don't want
now
to
my
drive
seatbelt's on.
live stream and not have a seatbelt on.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not like paying attention to the video. I've just got my video off, as you can see, and I'm just like
You
listening
were
to my Bluetooth.
You were mentioned in initials today for the initials DG because disc golf was an answer.
Oh, yeah, really?
Yeah, if Seth Jaffe was here, he'd get this, and that was the one where everybody was like, "Oh, no, I know this one."
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Oh, and I don't know. I posted on Facebook earlier tonight, but my son like wanted. We were out and about, and he was like, "Dad, can I get a package of Pokemon cards?" And like he hasn't cared about Pokemon for like forever, right? And I was like, "Yeah, fine, whatever. Just go grab one." And so he grabs one and he opens it up, and he got like the super ultra rare, like rainbow colored card. And he's like, "Do you think this is worth anything?" I was like, "Let me go look it up." It's just like, yeah, it's like a $15 card. He just managed to pick that one.
That's the big money on Pokemon cards is $15.
Well, it's part of the most like it's the earliest release thing, right? It's like this is like the newest box of stuff, but it's the ultra rare. It's the ultra rare card in this.
Yeah, I actually just saw that post right before I dialed in.
Yeah.
So congrats to him.
Yeah, he'll. And I was like, and he looked like he was gonna bend it and stuff. And I was like, can I just put that in a sleeve for you, even though you won't care, you'll never sell it, and it's just.
Yeah, I was actually wondering if he would sell it or if he would just like have more fun just knowing he owns something valuable. Or...
Yeah, he doesn't care. He's just happy because his sister is really jealous of it, and and I'm like, Rylan, you don't care. You don't care about that at all. It's just, well, I wish I was lucky like him. I
remember my Magic cards. I like never sleeved my Magic cards. My friends always like sleeved everything, and I'm like, I didn't like sleeving. I didn't like shuffling with sleeves or whatever. And so I had beat up because I shuffled them all the time because I played Magic. So I had like dual lands that were all beat up and Mascors and Morphlings and whatnot that were like valuable, but they were beat up, so they weren't as valuable. But I was like, whatever, I'm not gonna trade them.
Well, and it's like
in the end, I did sell them, but I probably could have sold them for a lot more if I'd kept them.
Well, yeah, but like I was saying, it isn't like they weren't like any good, right? They were still.
Well,
they still
work.
Yeah,
they weren't that bad. Yeah, but they were kind of beat up. In fact, it was kind of funny. So I was with Mike Mendez at the Pro Tour LA or something, and we were playing in some side event because we weren't actually in the Pro Tour, but we went one time and we were playing in the side events and tournaments and whatnot. And Mike borrowed some cards for me to make a deck. So he needed like this card that were pretty popular at the time and a little bit valuable and stuff. So he had a lot of islands, and all his cards were in sleeves and stuff. So he sleeved them, and he was playing with the sleeves like with the openings facing him. He did it. And it was kind of backwards for everyone else, but he always did that way. And then he got called for cheating, and they called the judge. And the judge was this guy from Phoenix that we knew. His opponent was like, the dude's cheating because his Morphlings are marked, and you can see him inside the cards because he's looking. And the guy's name was Ray, was the judge. And Mike was like, "I'm not cheating. These are Seth's cards." And everyone knew that my cards were beat up because I didn't use sleeves. So someone had to go find me, and I was somewhere else. And they came and found me, and I had to run over there. And Ray's like, "Seth, did you lend Mike some Morphlings for this deck?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Okay, cool. And so he would have had to like disqualify Mike, but because he believed, like sincerely that because he knew the story, he was like, "Okay, Mike's not actually cheating," and he made him like re-sleeve the cards or whatever, or change something. But Mike almost got kicked out of a tournament because he was using my cards.
I've heard that like if they're beat up, they'll make you put go get like a cheap land and put it on top of it, so you can't see it or something like that.
Oh, that's even worse.
Well, yeah, but
no, they'll make you re-sleeve it with open sleeves, maybe.
Yeah,
double card. Then you know.
I suppose, yeah, you're right. That would work. But yeah, I've heard of that.
No, but they did make him. I forget if he had to like just turn his deck around or play with a bunch of beat up lands and re-sleeve it, and like so they all looked similar to the Morphlings. Because all his cards were pristine, and then a couple of the Morphlings were like beat up, so you can kind of tell the difference.
So like
anyway, it was funny.
So like this is now that we're just talking about cheating and Magic. So like 10 like 9, 8, 9, 10 years ago, 11 years ago, or something like that. The guy who finished second in the World Series of Poker, I think his name was like David Williams or something like that. He before he was a big poker player. He says well, he was a big Magic player, and he actually got banned for like a year from Magic, which is why he started playing poker, because they caught him cheating.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, because they caught him cheating because he was like he had like bent his lands in some way that you could tell that there was some.
I don't remember why or what he had done or whatever, but I do remember something about some guy cheating and then he went and played poker instead. And turns out pro Magic players were pretty good at poker. Like I guess some of the skills translate.
It was like it was like something.
I got it right here. Let's see. Williams is an accomplished Magic player. His initial foray into Magic Pro Tour came in the late 90s. Made top 8 Grand Prix, blah, blah, blah. He also made top 8 in the Pro Tour in Japan. He was disqualified without a prize. Okay, he made top 8 in the 2001 World Championships in Toronto. However, he was disqualified without a prize for marked cards because 3 of his 4 accumulated knowledge cards were bent more than the other cards in his deck, making them easier to cut to when Williams cut his own deck after his opponent shuffled it. The tournament's judges determined that the bending was not accidental and that Williams had cheated based on 2 criteria. Each time Williams cut his deck as part of the pregame shuffling procedure, a copy of accumulated knowledge was on top, and the judges were able to consistently cut his deck to copy the accumulated knowledge. So they were able to do it themselves. And Williams admitted the cards were marked, but disputed the determination that he cheated by marking them intentionally. He was suspended from sanctioned Magic for 1 year. And that's when he just started focusing on Texas Hold'em.
Apparently, he's gone back. He's gone back and played Magic after the thing was done. So it's something that he enjoys as well. But yeah, and so then the big thing was that the idea was if he was willing to cheat at like Magic, then he'd probably be willing to cheat at poker as well. Which I can
might be a little harder.
Well, yeah, it might be a little harder, but
there's big money involved. They pay a little more attention, and the stakes are bigger.
Well, what was it? Did you guys ever?
If those movies are to be believed, like Rounders.
Yeah, so I don't know whatever happened to it, but like Phil Ivey had a thing. Like he's a big time poker player. Phil Ivey is.
Am I hearable?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Is it hearable? Okay, good.
All right, hi John. But here, so Phil Ivey was a huge and still is. He's a huge poker player, like big time Texas Hold'em, other poker as well, and he's well known. He would go to. He went to I forget what it was. I'm trying to find the actual thing about it. There was a big bit of controversy.
I got it.
Yeah. So here, he went to this casino in London, and he showed up with he was reported to have won like $11 million, but they accused him of edge sorting, which now you might be saying, well, what the hell is edge sorting? It's basically he was able to like look at cards, and like he was able to notice that certain decks of cards, like basically like he could tell reasonably well one way or the other, like if a card was high or low because of the way that the card looked. And so basically one of the things is that when he was playing it, he said that you got to use this deck. And he watched people play for a while. Then he came over and he said, I'm going to spend like £1 million. He was going to cash in with £1 million. And he said that, yeah, he's like, but it's going to be this dealer. Because basically he had a dealer that would like show enough of the card that you could see it. And then he said that, and you couldn't switch out that deck of cards. That was the only deck of cards they could use. And then the casino said, okay, fine. You know what? Let's play. And then he proceeded to win and win and win and win. And then basically then then when he was going to leave, like with a bunch of money, they said you can have your initial stake that you had, but we're not giving you any more because he'd gain an unfair advantage. And like he said,
Why
well,
did
no,
they agree to let him play with the stupid rules?
because they thought that they could take his money, obviously. And
yeah,
then
but he didn't bring the deck of cards. He just told them which brand of cards he wanted to play with.
yeah,
They supplied their own deck of cards, but the thing is, he had studied
Where was this?
in
In a casino?
at Crockford's Casino in London.
and so
For the
ultimately,
casino, I'd be like, no.
well, no, and then the thing is that he always would bring this like in the second person. He brought this woman with him that played the table with him, but she had like strict instructions, and he would signal her what she should do each and every time. So like he didn't hide it at all. Like he basically said, this is how we're doing it. And it wasn't like he had like the secret cameras or anything like that. He was just kind of saying, okay, now bet this way this time. No, bet that way this time. And so, he was just like he felt that he was just, using the rules to help himself, and that it wasn't technically cheating. And then the casino said, well, we're not giving you your money.
Yeah.
And
So
then he sued him and he said no.
He got twice doing it.
Oh, yeah?
So there's the one in London, but also the Borgata Casino in Atlantic City sued him over cheating at Baccarat by taking advantage of the defect in the manufacturing of the playing cards. So the same company, Jamaco, makes the playing cards that are used at both Crockford's and the Borgata. And there is a flaw in the manufacturing, which is what makes you be able to see what the face cards are. That's their own fault.
Well, yeah, but the whole thing is that, as they say, there's guys buried out in the desert who are under the impression that hey, it's your fault. Just, as they're lowering you into the sand.
He didn't cheat. He just played with what you gave him. Like counting cards it's not technically cheating. It's not illegal. They can ask you to leave. They have every right to ask you to leave at any time they want. But it's not illegal to count cards.
Yeah. So there you go. Well, I mean, what was it? Like the whole idea that what was it?
Rain Man. The fact that he can count to his 6-deck shoe, which is like ridiculous.
Yeah, that's not possible. I mean, I guess it might be possible, but I remember watching. There was this really great documentary about beating Vegas, and I remember when they figured out how to count cards, and the first person that ever really figured that out they like some casino in Atlantic City actually said, we don't care, come on in, you can count cards. That was their big thing. They didn't care if people counted cards or messed with things or did whatever. And they did that for like 2 months, and like all the card counters went there and just took them to the cleaners, and they're like, okay, well, I guess we care. Yeah, it's just like
it's the reason why they went to the 6-deck shoe, and the only element you have in it, the fact that you can't be a pure card counter, is the fact that there is at least a whole deck of cards that is not in play. As far as the number, there's at least 52 cards usually that's not in play in a shoe, because where you put the cut mark in, and once that card comes out, that little yellow or red card or depending what casino you come in, once that gets dealt out, they reshuffle. So yeah, you can count how many have come out already, which is what card counting really is, but you'll never really know how many are actually left unless every single one has come out. So if 24 aces have come out, there are no more aces coming out before they shuffle again. But, if 6 of them come out, it doesn't necessarily mean that the other 18 are coming. They could all be shuffled in there behind the cut card.
No, it's gambling. I mean, I have some friends who are like super into gambling. It's just kind of like, oh, hey, Chris Leader just posted that City of Gears is being published by Gray Fox Games. Interesting. Well, somebody finally picked it up after it got dropped. Was that game picked up twice and then dropped twice?
It was picked up by
Dice Tower Essentials.
Yeah, it was going to be Dice Tower Essentials, and the game went through a whole redoing, working kind of thing. But I don't think it ever got officially picked up after that. After they finally said, you know what, that's it. It's not doing it.
TMG mentioned we mentioned interest in it, and then but nothing came of it, unfortunately.
Yeah, I saw you guys playing it at Gen Con a couple years ago.
Yeah.
What was it last year? It was last year. Whether you were playing it.
Was it last year or 2 years ago?
I think it was last year, because then after that I played Seth's game.
Fair enough. So you ever like go on down? I mean, everybody's done this, but I recently went down like the rabbit hole on like weird stuff that I Googled. Like I Googled Bernard's star, and I was reading about Bernard's star being a red dwarf that's 6 light years away and things like that. And then then they mentioned something about Project Daedalus, and I was like, well, that was a game. I was like, oh, the Project Daedalus was a thing. So Project Daedalus was a study. Did anybody ever heard of this? I was actually kind of this is actually exciting, but just how early it was that they considered this. So it was a study done from 1973 to 1978 to possibly design an unmanned interstellar spacecraft, something that would leave our solar system and go visit another star, unmanned, but the Bernard star was one of the possibilities, like of a star we go, and they thought that they would be able to like come up with a fission reactor that would propel the ship to like it would like the first burn would be like last 2 years long, and then the second stage, and then they would jettison that extra weight after it was done, and that would take it to 7% of light speed. And then the second stage would fire for another almost 2 years, and that would get the speed up to 12% of light speed. That was the idea, that they could get this thing, and then it would reach the Bernard star in less than 50 years. And that was their idea, that they could make it, and it eventually was scrapped. The idea, like the technology wasn't existing. But I just thought that was cool that like back in like they were actually considering like how could we get to another star, and they actually had come up with a theoretical.
I think I saw that movie. It was called Passengers. Just came out. That was a joke. That was a bad joke.
And then a guy in 1980 revisited it with the idea that you were going to make a probe that had a self-replicating ability, the machine would be able to like rebuild itself so it could continue to fuel itself. Using some sort of like ramjet possibility. I don't know. I always love theoretical science that people are like, well, if we had this technology, we could do this. You know, of course, that technology doesn't exist. And then of course you get into that weird thing where like you have like very, very like the idea is that the possibility that our existence is actually like a virtual reality type thing, and the idea is that, you know, like the whole thing of what if our world is like one little atom, you know, and on a, you know, and that whole premise or whatever, but
some other molecule.
Yeah, and then, but no, the thing is that's weird is that it's like really really famous like scientists actually ascribe to that possibility. Like Neil deGrasse Tyson is one of them. That like it's very plausible that we're living in a virtual simulator that has been created by like some supercomputer, and that's what our existence is.
Occam's razor suggests that that's not accurate, but I guess it's possible. What I actually think is cool about theoretical science or like science fiction and stuff is that a lot of the technology we have is based on, or we wouldn't have if it hadn't been in some science fiction thing. Someone dreams it up like it's, oh, wouldn't it be cool if we could do this? And then people get into that and they're like, that would be cool. And then later, when the technology advances, they're like, let's, you know, whatever. And then we have, I think I heard that some of the early cell phones were modeled, you know, like they looked the way they did because that's what they looked like on Star Trek back in the day. Stuff like that.
All right. So has anyone seen the thing about the man who's actually on the moon already?
Sorry?
What now?
There's people actually on the moon already. People from here.
Talking about Iron. Whatever.
Well, I know that like no, it's what was it that like if you Google lunar architecture and you can find some of the wackadoos that believe that there's.
All right, wait, hold on. So this was the last Mars rover thing that we went on, that we sent up.
Yeah.
It sent all the images. Have you seen this image? Hold on, I'm going to share my screen.
You can't share your screen. We can't see you. What are you talking about?
Hold on, I'm going to share my screen. Come on. Hold on, I'm putting the crappy thing on. Hold on.
You're going to be surrounded by Google screens that you used, you know, to.
Okay, so you can see my screen?
Okay.
All right.
Now,
So this.
now I see that. Okay. Now I see me. That's good. Hi.
Okay.
Hi.
So now you see it, right?
Okay. Yes.
Okay. So this is a picture that the Mars rover took. It's like one of the last pictures that were taken by the Mars rover, and that definitely looks like somebody trying to fix it.
I can see where people are going with that, but yes. No.
That's funny. A friend of mine actually works at JPL. He was the man on the remote control on Earth driving the Range Rover.
That's cool. Did you do any cool flips with it, or any wheelies?
Totally told him to like do all sorts of stupid stuff, and he was like, "I am a scientist." I was like, "All right, Dan, fine."
That's a nice Mona Lisa you have. What is Seth doing? Is he driving into like a trash compactor, or what's going on?
I stop for gas.
I'm staring at his armpit every time he talks.
Yeah.
Something just went past my feet.
Wait, is my camera off? My camera's off.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
But your mic is still on.
Yeah.
Mic's on.
Yeah.
We don't need to stare at your armpit as you drive. I mean, we're okay with the cool guy.
My camera was off.
Hey, go get. We haven't done it in a while. Go get John's basket.
Oh wow, I remember that.
R2, turn off the trash compactor.
Shut down all trash compactors on the detention level. Curse my metal body, R2. I was too slow. So good. Just a glimpse into the past. What's in John's basket? What's in John's basket?
John's basket's in another room now. He's actually a working facility.
Well, and he's like jiggling it around, so it's not. Well, okay. Well, those are obviously nanners. Yep. That looks like a yellow onion.
Yeah.
Kiwis or avocados on top.
Which one? Avocados or kiwis?
Avocado.
And then there seems to be a toy or some sort that I can't quite make out on the back end there.
It's a Mickey Mouse in a jalopy.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Is that an apple or a plum? Tomatoes?
Tomatoes. Dun, 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 dun. What's in
John's basket. Oh, and there's a Bluetooth or something. Is that a Bluetooth?
Nope.
Is that a pen? Is that like a sunglasses holder?
Nope. Come on, you got this.
Is that a marital aid?
It's the magic finger.
I don't know.
Merlin's magic finger.
It's one of those they call them Rattler magnets. It's one of those like super magnets, but they're like rounded, so if you throw them in the air together, they rattle like a snake.
Dude, I just put 18 gallons of gas in my car. I must have been almost like completely out.
Hey, you totally missed the What's in John's basket game. I'm sorry, Seth.
It's okay. I don't really care what was in John's basket.
Oh. So, hey, John, I have a question for you.
I have a question for John too.
I have a question for Captain Awesome. Okay, so my daughter is in Taekwondo, as you know, and she's testing for her next belt level, and she got through all of her forms and she aced them all, and it's come down to this like spinning roundhouse kick thing to break the board, and the first 2 tries she didn't get it, and so she's gonna try again tomorrow. But now they're switching that. They're like making it to a different type of kick, and they trained on it on Tuesday, and I think they switched it because a lot of the kids haven't broke the board. And I mean, I don't know what is that unheard of? I mean, why would they switch the? I mean, she's been practicing this one kick forever, and now all of a sudden they wanted to do a different one. So I don't know.
What's the other kick?
It's some downward one. I don't know what they're called. I mean, I had to work, so I wasn't able to see it the whole thing. But you know, it's a
down with your heel.
Yeah.
It's called an axe kick.
Okay.
When you bring your heel down.
Yeah.
They probably changed it if a lot of kids were having a hard time breaking the board with the roundhouse kick, because it's very easy to break a board with a roundhouse kick, but it hurts. So a lot of kids are very reticent to try it because you have to hit with the top of your foot and it's just skin. So it hurts a little bit. And kids generally avoid it, while the axe kick is basically just dropping your foot on something and it's your heel and you can't get injured, and you kind of have to try really hard to not break the board. So it sounds like they nerfed the test in order to pass more kids. That could be good or it could be bad. If there wasn't a lot of instruction and encouragement with the roundhouse kick, then they might have been like, we're making kids who are too low rank due to intimidating of a kick and we should change it, learning experience. Or it could be, I don't know if your martial arts school is what some senseis not so affectionately refer to as belt mills, where it's like, well, they paid $100 for the test, we better get them to pass so that they keep coming back and we keep the parents happy. It could be either one. I don't know nearly enough about the school in order to make a judgment call on that, but that's usually the 2 ways that would go.
All right, fair enough. No, he's a really nice guy. He's like a jack of all trades kind of guy too. He's he has he has a bunch of acres out of town, and like he built a big giant barn type thing where people hold weddings and stuff, and he officiates, and he's super nice, and he's also very stern with people too, which I appreciate. There's a few kids that are very unruly, and he definitely he's a big believer in you're going to do push-ups now, and everybody's going to watch you, and the reason they can't train right now is because of you. So, give me 15 push-ups, and like it's surprising, like these 8 or 9 year old kids are like they feel the shame of the moment, and then they learn.
Yep, martial arts is great for that sort of stuff. That's why I love teaching it, because you can impart discipline to kids. Which is kind of a lost art these days because their schools don't do it.
Yeah, but it's good. And my son's in it, and he thinks it's awesome. So, and he's having a blast.
What belt color is she?
She's orange, and she's going for whatever yellow, I guess, is what she's going for.
Okay. And what belt is your son? Is he more or less advanced?
No, he's 5. Remember, he's less advanced. He's got his white belt with all the stripes. He's got all the stripes, so he can test for orange. He just hasn't had testing day yet. So,
gotcha.
I don't know if you know if that's something you know. He's got all his stripes or whatever for it. So,
every school does the belt color order and the stripe system differently. So, where I teach, you go from white to yellow to orange. So you're going from white to orange to yellow.
So you're doing it wrong, is what you're saying.
Yeah. So, I was actually surprised to hear it. I've never heard of it done that way before. I've taken a bunch of different styles. Generally speaking, the idea is you start white and then it progresses to darker. So you go through the yellow, and then the orange is a darker shade, and then you end up blah, 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 blah. It's actually fun story, you who like random trivia. The original belt system was that you get a belt. You get one belt, you're white, you're new, period. And that's the only belt that you ever got. And then all of the colors became this incidental progression that we now cheat. So they would you'd wear a white sash. It wasn't necessarily always as thick and heavy and indestructible as a belt. And then as you sweat on it, it would yellow like an armpit of a t-shirt. And then as it got darker and dirtier through that, it would get this like kind of nastier shade of orange. And then you rarely would train inside, so frequently the training was outside in the fields and such, and you would do your takedowns and your wrestling and your grappling, and you would get grass stains all over your belt, which was the first green belt. And you would start sparring, and they didn't use the giant heavy poopy. So you punch each other in the face, you bleed, and you get blood stains, and that was the first red belt. And then eventually there'd be enough blood stains, when you take a Band-Aid off, the blood's no longer red, it's brown. So that was the first brown belt. Red belt. And then eventually it was so dirty, so stained, so full of muck and goop and sweat and blood. That's black. That's where the original black belt came from. And now we just emulate it because we train inside and we wash clothes.
Huh.
Generally speaking, though, martial art rule, you should never ever wash your belt. Because in the olden days, if you brought your red belt home and mom washed it with a little bit of bleach, guess what? You're a white belt again. So you never wash your belt.
All right, I have a game-related question for John.
Okay, bring it up.
I asked you on Twitter, but you didn't answer me.
I suck at Twitter. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Who is on the panel this year at Gen Con, your Kickstarter panel?
That's a great question. I am still building it. I've been so far behind that I haven't sent out invitations yet. So
okay.
And one other gentleman, oh goodness, I forget who he is. He actually approached me and said, "Hey, I saw your panels, and this is what I do, and I think I could be of help." I forget if he was a publishing company or a fulfillment company or something like that. I said, "Sure."
There was a time when I got invited to be on that panel.
Yeah, twice.
Yeah.
Twice. Morris Bauer's only been on there once. Good thing he's gone now that we're talking about it.
That's interesting. That is, how much experience do you have with Kickstarters?
Yep. Do my best to study them, and it's fun to have people around, and then
I'm sorry. What was that? You sound like a robot there for a second.
Oh, well, that's probably bad.
Don't worry, gato, Mr.
It's not a robot.
take that E3PO, but
You're really
don't get
cutting up there, Seth. Just so you know. Well, you sounded like. That's I thought you sounded like.
and that was actually a pretty good rendition.
You sounded like a 2600 baud modem dialing up.
Anthony, what makes you ask about the panels?
No, because I happened to see the panel was there, and then I happened to see that you were running it, and I saw the thing saying who was on it previously. But I just didn't see who was on it this year, so I was like, oh, wonder who's going to be on this year. That's all.
Are you going to be on it?
I don't know if I have time. I appreciate you asking, though.
Yeah, it'd be a pleasure to have you. Let me know. I'll probably finally get around to doing it. I haven't got my own badge yet. Like, that's how far behind I am on Gen Con. So I have a
unless you have an in somewhere, get it soon because they're in danger of running out. Like they're I mean like seriously like they're almost out of badges.
Yeah, I got the email. So I well when I went in there was only one comp. I'm supposed to have a minimum of 2, but I have a double booth this year, so I should have 4, but I still only had 1. So when I went to go do it the other day, I couldn't even do it anyway. I had to email them to fix it. I just fixed it today.
Very good. All right, I'm going to bed. It's almost 2 o'clock.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it is almost 1. So when we call it an end, I need to get some sleep. I have to work for the man tomorrow and get a bunch of stuff done for the upcoming Crusaders Thy Will Be Done Kickstarter campaign in July. Hey, did you send me my demo copy there, Seth?
No, I gotta find a box for it. I'll send it out tomorrow.
They have boxes at the post office that are free.
That's probably true.
Like the priority mail boxes, they're absolutely free.
You mean like the flat rate?
Yeah.
They have non-flat rate priority boxes that are free also.
Yeah. So, wow, that was a good conversation. And the longer we stay up, the bigger chance that Richard Ham shows up, and that can't happen because I need sleep. So,
before we shut down, did you guys did you see the coincidentally I had 2 interviews, one in a magazine and one in a podcast, and they were both on the same topic. So people who are interested in different interviews, I guess.
I'm going right now.
No, yeah, Seth was he had two recent posts like things like interviews, which is cool, and it just happened to be done at the exact same time. So, yeah, well, they weren't done at the same time, but they were released at the same time. Oh, and if you have a chance, go check out the official Tasty Minstrel Games podcast as well. I'm kind of proud of that. We've been working on it pretty hard, and the
new website.
And the new website went live today as well. Yes, the playtmg.com website.
That website has been like under construction for so long.
I know, but my conversation. Seth and I had a great conversation that is in a podcast that comes out on Friday. So go check that out as well.
The podcast.
Yes.
On the podcast.
I am the host of said podcast.
Oh, good for you.
So yes.
You have a cool job now, man. I'm so happy for you.
I'm so happy for me too. But yeah. You'd think with all this extra fame I'd get invited to be on a Kickstarter panel, but who knows?
Oh, things are going dark.
All right. Well,
I try to have new people as often as possible, so I can get as many.
Yeah, you go ahead and have nude people on. I don't care.
You are one of the immensely few people who've been on there twice, so you are highly honored.
Oh, okay. All right, everybody. Get some sleep. Hey, and like I said, Wednesday I won't host because I'll be in. Well, maybe I'll try to host. I'll see what the internet's like at the hotel. But I might have to force Barry or Keith to host the Alaboom. I'll give him my login info for YouTube, and he can just do it. Hopefully, he won't mess with it. But yeah, so
I just want to say I'm not in the chat tonight. I'm sorry, guys. Hi, everybody in the chat. All the people I love to see over there.
All right. Good night, Seth. Good night, Anthony. Good night, John.
Good night.
Good night, Anthony.
Good night, guys.